it's all three Joshes are pretty fantastic. I mean, Josh from the podcast is, debatable sometimes. No, I'm just kidding.
Especially when he's Andrew. Names like Michaela spelled with 17 Q's and River and Forest and Porcupine and Pringles aside, I'm kind of glad the era of naming all your boys with a J name is over.
That was an era?
Josh, Jeremiah, Jason. Jeremiah.
Don't name your kid Jeremiah. That's way.
They're all these pseudo-biblical names, right? That, I don't know. It was a 90s thing.
Ah ha ha.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, ha, ha.
I need to open chat.
Do you have a list of things to talk about, Nick?
I have a thing to talk about. I had a week. My dad's been gone working, so I'm taking care of Mom. Hello, Night.
The fam, yeah.
And
my dad, seriously. Okay. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, it's okay.
Because he's literally doing it to me right now. I'm going to bring it up. My dad treats text messaging and messaging like it's something that you should respond to immediately.
Oh, yeah.
And
Okay.
and if you don't, then he will just continually blow up my phone.
Yeah.
And so I very, very politely and congenially let him know. So this is how I did it. I said, Dad, when you call somebody and they don't answer and it goes to voicemail, do you keep calling them back? It's like, no. And I'm like, you don't keep calling them back and you don't keep leaving voicemails over and over again? He's like, no. I'm like, that's what you're doing when you message me like that. It is the modern day equivalent of leaving me multiple voicemails. And I already knew he wouldn't understand simply because it took me so long to get him to understand that I don't listen to my voicemails.
Okay.
Like, I literally, he'd call me, and I started listening to his voicemails, but my response is always going to be to call them back.
Yeah, you get the gist of what they're saying, and it's not like you want to leave a voicemail in return.
No,
right?
no.
Yeah.
And so I call him back and stuff. He's like, oh, well, did you listen to my voicemail? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm calling you back, so let's talk about the thing you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Anyways, he just did that to me. I was saying goodnight to him and stuff, and then he just sent me 30 thumbs up symbols because he knows it irritates me. So
That's what dads are for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, yeah, Andy mentioned that your dad's over on the coast.
He's out in, not Crescent City, Crescent, which apparently is a place. You know, that vague middle Oregon that doesn't exist except on the news when it's on fire.
Yeah. We don't speak of Eastern Oregon.
Yeah. But he's out there working, and he's only coming home on the weekends. And my mother, I love her to death. I woke up to her mid-conversation with me. I don't know how much time had passed. I don't know how long the conversation had got on for, but she was standing in my doorway fretting about something. And I was like, okay, let's calm down. Let's figure out what's going on. But it's been like that every day since he's gone. So
yeah, we weren't sure we were going to make it tonight.
Yeah, no, I'm sleeping backwards. I'm completely messed up. So sleeping during the day and
quite screwed up on my sleep schedule right now.
Yeah.
I have an idea. I'll be right back.
The idea requires locomotion. So on the docket for tonight, we're doing some Zoomer content, some React. Are we reacting to reaction videos?
Of course.
Let's just nest it all the way down.
Yeah, there are plenty of reactors.
Jazz history. What's that old the 5-minute coffee break? I like jazz. Thelonious Monk. I'm just gonna name drop. But no, I don't know much about jazz. Criminal justice and jazz history. So you're gonna become a film noir law student that plays the saxophone.
It ends up being purple.
I know. It's not purple.
4.0. I can't even count that. Oh.
Good enough. Good enough.
Thank you, Yogurt.
What is happening?
He's sharing the history of the term pog.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh.
I already knew that. My girlfriend's Hawaiian.
That's another one, yeah.
I
I had to look
think he's
that
talking
up.
about pog as in Twitch.
Oh,
Yeah.
play of the game?
Yeah,
I think that's what that means.
it does. But pog specifically is now just like exclamation at this point.
It has become, yes.
It's derivative of pog champ,
It's not bland.
It's a modern huzzah.
pretty much.
It's like most expletives. Like,
Fuck.
yeah, fuck can be noun, adjective,
I don't think
adverb.
fuck exclaimed is ever a positive.
Yeah. But it's one of the few words you can say, fuck this fucking fuck, because he fucks.
Oh, the
Right.
versatility is
Yeah.
there. But you can't pog the pog and pog.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Give it
That's
10
true.
years. See, the problem with the people named generations is they started at like Y, and they skipped the whole alphabet. So what's after Z, right? We're just going to wrap back around Generation A, Generation Z next. We're going to pull an Xbox.
I mean, probably. It's clear that people can't.
Generation
fucking count.
Z Series S. Generation AA, because they're all fucking drunkards, because the world's going to shit.
I would assume. I believe that's most likely Maroney. By the way.
Oh,
Yeah, I linked him the podcast.
awesome.
That makes sense, being that he's Yogurt in the Discord.
Yeah.
I was just thinking the other day that technically my Blizzard World of Warcraft account is his, because he
Yeah.
sold it to me back after he started playing, or he gave it to me. I don't remember. It's been a while.
Good old Durakian.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that was the login. Yeah, I don't know if you remember, but you made a character. You'd earn your first gold to buy your tabard for your guild that you had joined, and you were showing that off to me. And then you either gave me or I again, long time ago. But every time I had to log into like
Yeah.
Blizzard tech support, I'd remember that it was Durakian and not one of mine.
Just 16 years ago.
Yeah, I'm actually.
Yeah.
I think John was the first one to start playing World of Warcraft,
Yeah.
and then
We have
was
you
the
to thank
first to
for
quit.
that. Thanks. Got in, got out. One
Yep.
of those early supporters. He's like, okay, this exists.
neat. I'm out.
Yeah.
Bum, ba, ba, ba.
I don't think any of us played in the WoW beta, did we?
I didn't know.
I got invited, but I couldn't play it.
I vaguely remember that.
I didn't have a computer that could play WoW until Russ gave me his old computer.
I
Oh yeah.
it was Star Wars Galaxies for sure.
Yeah,
that we were
that-
in the beta for,
That makes more sense.
and that was a steaming dumpster fire of a game. It's the one game I actually remember very specifically my beta experience and why it was so distasteful, because there was the big forum hype from Chris, because he was part of the clan in the forum, and they had all these grandiose plans
Yeah.
about them taking over planets and probably extorting money from people or some mafia-esque scheme, because that's how Chris do. And then obviously the game came out and you couldn't do any of that.
Yeah.
When I joined the beta, it was your generic class, because they didn't even have. I think when the game launched, you had like an infinitesimally small chance to where your
Just
character
a
could
chance that you
be
were force
force
sensitive.
sensitive. Yeah. So I'm some generic dude, and my first quest is like run over here to this quest, and I ran for like 10 minutes. Like just running for 10 minutes. And that's not an exaggeration. Like I'm pretty sure it was just straight 10 minutes of running.
Yeah.
And I got there and the quest was bug out and the guy wasn't even there.
Oh.
Like the quest icon's like above nothing. And I was
Yeah.
like, I'm out.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
fucking-
thank you.
I did not want a running simulator.
Yeah, I got into a diatribe. There's this weird dichotomy between wishing newer gamers had the tough experiences we had when that was the cool thing to do, and also glad that that's not the case anymore. Because I think back to some of the games I played, and like a good example, I didn't play a lot of it, but you play like Ultima Online or any of those old pre-WoW MMOs. When you died, not only did your corpse drop with all your items, and you had a time limit before you had to run back to get everything, but you got negative XP that you would then have to work back up to even start gaining XP again. And that, you see a direct correlation between that style of play and like how the older versions of Dungeons and Dragons work, where there's way more stick than carrot. And it develops a type of persona where you're like, these kids these days have it super easy, but is it really a good thing? I mean, in a sense, it provides an experience that you get a sense of catharsis that you're not going to get if things are handed to you, because you're like, wow, I managed to get my corpse back on this corpse run. We had a little bit of that in Valheim, right? Where you get into that loop of, I died, better grab my shit gear to go get my body back, and then you die again. The next thing you know, a bunch of naked dudes on a raft are trying to go back to get what remains of stuff they have. And that's its own form of gameplay in a sense. But, is it something to be proud of? Is it something to be still putting in games? I don't know. And I don't fault newer players for quote unquote having it easier, but it's also, I'm kind of glad that I got to experience that, especially the shift. Yeah. Design changes over time. Yeah. Especially when things evolve. We were talking about shooter evolution. Oh yeah. Yeah. Arc was, I haven't played it in 5-6 years now, but I played it pretty heavily, and it had a lot of that in there. When you die, if you don't, it's just a huge setback, and I think the idea of a setback in a game, we get so afraid of players getting frustrated that it's a hard choice to make if you want to put that in your game or not.
Can you flip my camera?
Get his good side.
I can flip your camera, but originally we were doing that. So, right is right to you. It makes sense. But there's a reason we don't. And that's because if you have text on your shirt, it gets flipped.
Can you temporarily flip my camera? I don't have text on my shirt.
I would have to flip every camera.
I just, what?
On every scene that we're going to use. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Technical limitations of our time.
The way that I look now towards the center of the stage is not the direction you guys are looking. So you guys are talking, and I'm like looking.
So if
sucks to be you.
So if we can promise. So here's the other thing. So if I go back here, not there. If I go back here, now look towards Nick. So if you were looking to the left, Nick is above you, technically speaking.
So when you talk to me, I'll just look down.
Yeah.
That's okay. I want you to Brady Bunch this shit. Okay. Well, at the very least, I'll look at the iPad, which is a little bit better, right? Is this better? I got to wait for the screen to check up.
So if you look at the TV, it just looks like you're looking off screen.
If I look at the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm staring off into space.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this is actually where the television is at. That's okay.
We'll have to figure out how to fix that.
I'll just address all my conversations to the ether, just the empty space of our kitchen.
I get what you're saying, because
looking in the camera.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But if we're watching any content, he's going to be looking off into space.
It's true.
Yeah. We'll get that figured out.
Maybe what if I put this directly in front of me?
I'm thinking.
Might be better.
Because at least that way I'm looking forward, but I'm going to be looking slightly down. So
I'm thinking the limitation here in my thinking is that the green screen doesn't go all the way to the wall now. So I was thinking the other day that if we got all of the cameras closer together and then angled them towards you guys, that would probably get rid of like all of the clipping with our elbows and all that shit. Or
that could be a feature and not a bug. It's free elbows. You get 2 elbows for the price of 1, right?
So I'm thinking that we could do that if we brought all the cameras closer together. That also means that you guys would all be looking more towards the lens when looking at content. But the issue is on your side. If we were to do that, then it would be pointed way too far towards the door, and we'd need the green screen to go all the way to the edge of the wall.
Gotcha.
So we need more green screen.
No.
Yeah, I don't like
That's
that idea. Unless we had two green screens that met in the middle.
Exactly. Meat Boy and Dark Souls, so little overlap, but so much overlap. Meat Boy has the benefit of being a puzzle platformer, deaths meaning next to nothing. You can just repeatedly bang your head against the wall until you get your shit together and beat it, right? And I was talking about that with my brother, the idea of failure as a concept. Like, if video games teach you anything as a child, it's that failure is not the end. It is to be expected, and you're going to fail repeatedly until you get it right. And maybe that creates stubborn people, but Dark Souls is similar, right? You die, you have to try over again. But that mechanic of, your souls are dropped and you have to go pick them up if you want to save them, that's definitely right in vein with a corpse run, right? That's essentially what it is. So I'm excited for Elden Ring. I didn't know benefits of having a bad memory. Elden Ring, the new From Software game in the Dark Souls vein, Bloodborne. I thought that was the next Elder Scrolls game. So I kept hearing this news about Elden Ring this. I was like, I don't know, whatever. They're just going to keep releasing Skyrim forever. And then I saw the trailer for it, and I was like, oh, that is not at all Elder Scrolls 9 or whatever we're on. So
It depends if you count all the Skyrims.
yeah, they're each their own game because they are re-releasing it. How do you release something so many times?
I don't know.
Money.
I'm literally I think I went red as soon as Skyrim was. I mentioned Skyrim and just started seeing red again. Yeah. Are we gonna do? You think we're gonna do a recording tonight for the podcast?
If I can get this done fast enough, yeah.
I'm just curious because otherwise I could talk about the stuff I've written down, but I don't want to blow my load prematurely.
Oh, for the podcast, are we gonna? We won't be doing like React for the podcast.
No, not the React content.
he's
Like
just
I have a list of stuff to talk about for the podcast. I don't know if I should talk about it now.
Oh yeah, no, I would wait until Josh gets here and we start the recording. Yeah,
fucking Josh. I take back what I said about knowing 3 good Joshes.
it's just the one.
2.5.
That wild card.
All right, let me see if this works here. Yes, but I'm going to change this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because he's watching Survivor.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he is a Survivor fan. That takes precedence.
There's also a girl involved.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes more sense.
If
It
it's
makes
literally
way
Josh
more
just
precedence.
was like sitting at his house to watch Survivor right now, I would go over there and kick him in the dick.
Hey, he found a girl that wants to watch Survivor. I mean,
Fair.
rare find. Really finding anybody as a human being that wants to watch Survivor. No
I feel
offense.
like that's a bubble problem, Nick. You think because of the bubble you live in that not that many people watch Survivor, but would Survivor still exist if there weren't millions of people watching it?
It's true. Look at the number.
It's Josh though. It's like I don't even think that's the situation. I think that it doesn't take. You could literally just be a female, and he's going to do more to go out of his way to be around you if there's no sex involved.
There's Survivor video games?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Oh, man.
there's probably like a Modern Family video game at this point. It's probably a mobile game, and it just costs a lot of money.
Just looking through the Wikipedia, every Survivor has a season title, right? Survivor
Mhm.
Philippines, Vanuatu, Cambodia, Ghost Island, right?
It's a good season.
And then you get up to the
watch.
newest one, and it's Survivor Season 41.
Cool.
They got tired.
Like, we ran out of exotic locations. This one takes place in Kentucky.
That'd actually be the real Survivor, right? We took a bunch of liberals and transgendered folks and dropped them in the deep
Try
south.
not to get shot. Your immunity necklace doesn't mean shit.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, God. Well,
Every member thinks they secretly have an immunity idol, but what they don't know is that there is no immunity.
can't be immune to bullets. I mean, it's ranking top 20 to top 20 or top 20 to 30 on TV rank. I don't know. Viewers are down to 10 million. It's still 10 million people.
There you go. It's 10 million people. I oftentimes think about that stuff too, and I have to catch myself because I see something that's on modern television, cable television. I'm like, what? That's a thing people watch and is popular. And then you got to remember, we don't watch cable television at all for 20 years.
Yeah. My parents watch it, and it's just news and then ads about medicine. And then news, and then ads about medicine. I think they know their audience.
See, you're part of the problem. You're watching that cable television.
Who is? Are we shaming?
Naughty Night? Yeah. Shame. Well, you could have prefaced that. Now I don't believe you. That's a post-credits edition.
I don't know if Hulu counts.
Hulu doesn't count.
Yeah, I mean, it's not cable TV.
To be fair, you can watch
It's run by all the cable networks
on Hulu now. So
yeah.
It's weird to think that there might be a time where TVs still exist and you can still plug in some rabbit ear antennas and get local TV, but there's no cable channels because they've all moved to digital online stuff.
I mean, they've all already moved to digital.
Yeah, that's. I mean, what is the difference?
The separation
really?
is so little now.
You just don't. Well, have
the
a box
difference
in your
was
house.
that the airway, the bandwidth won't be taken up. There will be no longer the bandwidth used by these cables that are sending it. So suddenly we have freed up all this space that there might be a resurgence of weird indie available TV because it's not being used, which is
that would imply that they don't maintain the control once they're no longer using it, right?
Well, if it's costing them money, I mean, they're going to get rid of it. I don't know how that's going to work, but it would be weird. I'd have to look more into it.
We have to be careful about what we're going to watch on YouTube content.
Yep.
So we don't get in trouble.
Yeah.
Legal stuff.
Oh, I know. That's why I chose this.
John was letting us know.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have all the FCC regulations you have to get around and all that stuff. But I was just thinking from what little I know about when I worked as a cable tech, there is only so much bandwidth on the EM spectrum. And you're going to have, I mean, as far as almost all cable is piped in by wire. But when you plug in those rabbit ear antennas and whatnot, you're picking up the actual broadcasted stuff. And if for some reason that goes by the wayside...
Look at the color of this can on here. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Look at this can.
Look at this can. What do we got here?
It's the green.
Almost regular.
I honestly know it's fairly common technology these days, but it did strike me as one of those moments where man, we do really live with some crazy advanced technology.
Yeah.
I got Ring for the shop. So, just a video doorbell.
Oh, yeah.
But the fact that I got a motion sensor, so my phone goes off several times a day, letting me know that someone's at the door or they're ringing the doorbell. And at any point, I can just click the icon and talk to whoever's there through my phone wherever I'm at. I'm just that's bananas.
So you're telling me what we need to do is install those on bus stops and just start talking to people out of the blue. You're like, welcome to my wizard shop.
Bus ain't coming today, bro. Best get walking.
Oh, man. That'd be so easy to do. Yeah, that needs to happen. Someone cool and hip and with it, get on that so I can watch it later on Reddit.
Yeah.
All right, so Andy has queued up a video.
I'm going to text Josh so he doesn't walk in here and go, what the fuck is up, you nerds?
I mean, he should know, right?
He's going to do that now that you've texted him.
Yeah, seems like that's...
You would have been quiet before. It's just a fake CCTV camera now. Scare the legitimate off.
The one we got is the new Ring 4, and supposedly the battery should last at least 2 months before I have to charge it.
I have to pee balls.
We will see. Quick, take the potty cam with you. That's a new feature we have.
Actually, so
Wait, what?
no, I will be integrating another camera before everybody leaves tonight. Not integrating. That's the wrong word. I'm gonna bring in my DSLR so we can take some promo shots.
Okay.
Mostly for thumbnails. So we need to make a bunch of fucking YouTube clickbait faces. That kind of shit. Yeah, because it works.
We need hotter cast members to do this.
Cloistered Scholar. It's a good name. So I want to talk about the Activision Blizzard thing, but for the most part, what I want to do is we're going to talk about, do I?
I don't.
Is it Justin? Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, I guess by the name, but I didn't know your Twitch handle. So what I want to talk about, a little bit of the Activision Blizzard stuff, especially now that there's updates on it with the SEC.
No.
Yeah. I also want to bring up, so we've never talked, so these guys know what's going on with the podcast. We didn't talk about it on our new release as Video Game Tango. That was the first podcast we've ever released as Video Game Tango. So I figure we talk about the changes that we've made to the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Why we haven't been around, that kind of thing. You know, the people and everybody here knows what's going on, but none of our audio listeners do. I mean, that aren't us.
We haven't been around because of the deep crows.
Yeah.
They came up from the earth. It's been a constant battle. In fact, there was 19 of them.
Fucking birds, man.
The fucking, so
COVID-19, right?
Russ, you watched the last couple of Rick and Morty episodes, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, the Two Crows.
Rick and Two Crows.
Rick and Two Crows.
That was a great episode.
One pickle, two crows. What's next?
Two
That's
pickles,
what
one
I
crow.
call my genitals. One pickle, two crows. How did you know this?
His testes are squawking.
And covered in feathers.
Feathered balls.
Mm-hmm.
You know when like a rooster puffs up? Like an owl? Imagine your balls doing that.
I would honestly I just think about, like, if I had like a soft downy coat of feathers on my testicles, that would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
That would be way better.
Until you have to molt.
Well, why would I have to molt, Nick?
Because birds molt.
But I'm not a bird. I'm just a
you have
dude with
bird
feathered balls.
I mean, they eventually got to fall out and replace new ones, right? I can't
Do
imagine
they?
that's
I don't know. I'm talking about territory that has never been encountered before.
permanent ball feathers.
Yes, I want permanent ball feathers, and they have to be soft, downy ones like a newborn chick.
I feel like that's so easily monkey paw.
Imagine them getting plucked. That'd be
Yeah.
so deep.
Caught in your zipper.
Stop. You're ruining this
Yeah.
beautiful thing that
Monkey
I've created here.
Dude, torture.
Yeah.
Torture. Real quick, how do we sound, guys? Is it too loud, too quiet, or do we sound good?
Good.
Yeah, I sound good.
I upped the volume, so I changed how I made the last audio podcast. I actually used the audio from the VOD. It was better than the quality that Audacity was recording.
Magic.
Get out of here, wizard.
OBS is just doing a good fucking job.
That is good. Everything that makes it easier on you.
Obviously,
Yeah.
Blatantly sorcerer. OBS over here.
So the
Obviously blatant.
the fucking cool thing about it is, all I had to do was edit the video version of the podcast, export that in the video version, and then export it audio only in MP3. Done.
Hey, that sounds a lot easier than whatever warlockism you were getting up to before.
I mean, I'd say the workload is about the same as just editing the audio podcast. Like when I was kind of new at it, because the video editing I'm not as good at, but it was really nice. And it sounded good. It was just a little bit quiet, so I did raise all of our microphone volume. So I just want to make sure that we're not peaking, buzzing, crackling, making it like, you know,
Snap,
we
crackle,
want
pop.
radio voice because
No cereal.
this equipment calls for fucking radio voice. Awesome.
Thursday.
Good.
Awesome.
Now, back to my feathered balls.
Back to your feathered balls.
So are you talking like super fine, small, downy feathers that are almost like
Fuzz.
Yeah.
Like on baby chicks.
Like baby chicks.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I want.
You're not worried about like what sweat buildup would entail with tiny feathers?
They are hydrophobic.
That's true.
So your pants are just wet all the time.
Well, I mean, I don't just leak water out of my groin area.
I don't even
I
have
do.
ball feathers. I don't know what's going on.
If you think I sweat a lot up here, down here is just way more.
I mean, I feel like that would be a problem you'd have presently.
It is. I just don't need to exacerbate
feathers.
that problem.
Yeah. Well, I don't have that problem, so sign me up for downy, soft, baby chick feathered balls.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, it would have to do so much less maintenance. I just assume it'd just always be there, just doing its thing.
Birds do a lot of maintenance. There's a lot of preening. And
I'm not going to
plucking.
have like mites and lice build up in my groinal region. I don't
Hey,
need
man,
to molt
I'm not judging.
because I'm not growing. I think that's why you molt, right? Is that you need bigger, more efficient feathers.
That or if you're stressed out.
Well, shit, then I'm fucked.
Yeah,
I'm going to be molting all the
birds
time.
go naked when they get too stressed. They're like, I don't need this shit. I'm not
Well,
flying
okay.
anywhere. I'm dying tomorrow.
Is that the because that's actually not bad. Because then if I just get really stressed out and then I just have a smooth ball shaft, like ball sack,
that's
right?
true.
And I don't have to shave.
Well, smooth is relative. Have you ever felt like a turkey before cooking it? It's a little.
But it's cold.
That's true.
It's got goose pimples.
That's true.
One word, scabies.
Yeah. No,
No.
don't bring that up. It's almost as bad as Skyrim.
Oh, dude, we don't say that name here.
Yeah. I also didn't bring those into the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, he carted them in. He did not bring them in. They
Found
were
out we
in a
recently that our
package.
downstairs neighbors had like a terrible cockroach infestation.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah. They had to clear all that out and spray it. Like we were just starting to get some popping upstairs because of the gaping fucking hole in my bathroom wall.
Ugh. I didn't notice that.
I think, yeah, no, it's literally been there for like almost 2 years.
I go in there to pee.
That's
I
fair.
don't look
the
around.
trash can's right in there too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, like Andy had a leak once in his shower, and they were trying to figure out where it was coming from, and so they cut like a good 1 foot square a hole into the drywall to track it down, and then Peter never came back to fix it. I think I reminded him like 3 times, or like when they'd come in for maintenance and stuff, and he'd be like, "Oh, that hole's still there. I gotta fix that."
Get on that.
And then never happened. And so this time he came in. He actually had an extra maintenance guy that he hired on to help him out with all this stuff. And that guy was going to come do it. And then Peter showed up and he's like, he's busy. I guess I'll do it. And I was like, sweet.
Okay.
We could have done that
It's done.
2 years ago.
Fucking forever ago. Should
But-
we? So, I bought a longer HDMI cable. Should we just move the table a little bit more centrally?
That's not going to fix my issue.
Well, you'd be looking more toward your camera than you are now.
Would I?
Yeah, if we moved it more to the right toward your camera, yeah.
Well, we can only move it so much because the power cable is short.
Oh.
I mean, I can give it a go. We can see what we can do.
Yeah, even if we could just get a couple inches out of it, it might help.
I'll give you a couple.
As long as
I was waiting for it.
as long as
like if Russ
I
isn't gonna do
can
it.
stop looking at this fucking TV. Probably, yeah.
There are shoes on the cable. Yogurt, what have you
That's not
been
the
up
extent of
to? Talk to me. Tell me your ways. Since you came over and did our glamour shots, I think it was the last time. What was that? 2 year and a half ago now? You were doing photography.
There's now buzzing in the headset.
Yeah, I think it was about you came, I assume, over to visit your mom. Yeah. The pre-pan. You know, now we got pre 9/11, post 9/11, pre-pandemic. It's just going to be a series of things. But yeah, I have a terrible memory. I think you had kind of either moved in, was it a new tech position? Oh, yeah, it was a road trip. Gotcha. Was that a Pacific Northwest thing, or were you cross-continent? Cool.
I think the power cable is crossing one of our audio cables for the microphones.
Are you working at GitHub? That's pretty neat. What are you doing there?
It might have been there already, just we had less constant talk throughout. Nothing, but that fixed it.
You did it.
I think it goes to nothing. Yeah, that's just the dead cable. Okay, well that works. That got rid of the interference.
Well, good luck with that.
Never mind, I lied. It did not. Something else you were doing did. Maybe it was because you were touching something.
Night Beast has timed you out because you tried posting a link, and that is not allowed. Yep. Everyone knows that every link is straight to a virus. That's cool.
I think that's... Hold off, Nick.
Work.
That's good. Yeah, we're good.
Work around. I'm playing this stupid phone game, and I was chatting with my guild, and HO was banned. It was asterisked in chat because it says ho. So every time I said who, it was just W asterisk asterisk. It's like you really can't recognize that that's a word. Yeah. You know, Danny worked at a couple security places there for a while. Whenever we figured out, the problem right now is we have 4 setups, and one of them is a dragon.
If you want to buy a mixer with more than 4 inputs, then we can absolutely have you on.
It really comes down to technical limitation. I mean, if there's days like when Josh isn't available.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I have not caught up with Danny in a while. I think he did a whole Pacific Northwest trail, the big, like, Mexico to Alaska. He was doing part of that. And last I talked to him, he was making his way through Northern California. He's like, yeah, I might get eaten by the rapids. I was like, well, don't do that. Just wait. But it was a while back. We kind of lost touch. But he's living his best life. He has, I think he's found happiness. So that is good.
Not unless you can share.
Can you share in your own personal nirvana?
I mean, if you try hard enough.
That's why they invented TikTok, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What was that thing I read? Riot Games, something, Witcher 3 quest director. Yeah, the lead quest designer from Witcher 3 is now joining Riot Games on a new MMO project, which I feel like the bigger news was that Riot's trying to make an MMO. What year is it? I don't know. But
you never responded to Discord, I think, to us playing New World.
Oh, that MMO? Yeah, no, I didn't see it. I was finishing RimWorld. Is it out and about, ready to go?
It comes out next week. I think it's like the...
Okay, I need to catch up on that.
I want to say 29th. Okay, 28th.
Yeah, jump in when the game starts, see if it's worth continuing.
Well, I figured even if the game is like mediocre at best, almost all of us own PCs now. So it'd be kind of fun to like do a thing together.
I wonder what World of Warcraft content launches on the 28th.
Didn't they like rename?
I have a lot of emotional baggage tied to that game, so I don't...
There's some big hoopla about Warcraft renaming some of their old mounts. Like it was the big love rocket from Valentine's Day or something.
Which is hilarious.
Apparently you can't reference his penises online because penises are phallic. And by saying penis or anything similar to penis, quasi-penis, penis adjacent, penis related.
Yeah. Do you want to support the patriarchy? Because that's how you do it, by referencing a penis.
All right, so...
Penisarchy?
The penisarchy.
So this is a portrait that you could see regularly in taverns and whatnot. So
Never
they changed it from
seen
that
in my life.
to that.
Of all the things to change it into.
We went from this.
Oh,
to
it's
this.
another fucking Jaina Gate.
Jaina
Oh my
Jaina Gate.
God. They did
That's
that
a
in
thing?
Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like they got the internet canceled
much
fucking
tits.
her portrait, her original. Like you could probably Google like Jaina Proudmoore Hearthstone portrait before and after.
Okay.
They did the same thing, which is funny because you still see cards that have plenty of cleavage on them. It's so fucking stupid. Just put some fucking banana hammocks in there.
Yeah.
If it's equality, just put some fucking dong and ass.
I remember there was a 2D fighter game that came out where like both the dudes and the chicks were practically naked.
Oh yeah, I remember
And
this. Yeah.
like Twitter really wanted to cancel it, but they couldn't because the dudes were. Oh, so they put in. Oh, what was that infomercial?
Like boob kerchiefs or something.
Yeah,
like
boob kerchief.
Or the
Was that what it was
kerchief.
called? It was just this
Boob
piece
napkin?
of fabric you put. Yeah.
For your modesty.
I mean, if you'd ask me, like, who's Jaina Proudmoore? What do you know about her? What is her story?
Is your first thought she's got a fucking bitch in a rack?
Well, my first thought is I would have trouble thinking of, like, any character concept at all. She was just this semi-companion to Arthas and Warcraft, and her dad was an admiral, you know. She practically is just a rack of tits. And it's sad because she could have been a lot more. but-
I've honestly never associated Jaina Proudmoore as a sexual object.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what I was getting at. She was such like kind of non-entity.
I mean, the look you're giving me, I have not.
I got the look I was giving you, and God, I loved it.
I missed it.
I don't think I could ever redo it.
It was the, but maybe, or the, oh really? Did you? Yeah, that's.
In Warcraft 3, you essentially played, at least in Alliance, as Arthas, and Jaina was there to be like this moral voice. Stop doing good for only good's sake. You're hurting people. And of course, Arthas didn't listen. And that was like all she did there. Name of the survival game where you could customize your penis. Real life.
Cyberpunk.
Rhinoplasty.
You can. Well, okay.
Or
Or
a survival game.
chainsaw. Real
Why
life.
does it
Real
have-
life is a survival
See,
game.
in
Why
World of
does it have to
Warcraft,
be
you
a
go to the
survival
barbershop.
Why does real life have to be a survival game?
Why does the stipulation of name the game where you can customize a penis have to be a survival game?
I think it just was.
What was?
Like, there was a game where you could customize your
She's
dong.
whispering. She's trying to think of the name of a specific game she's remembering that was a survival game that
You're good,
you
Josh.
happen to be able to. I mean, survival game with penis.
We replaced you with a color changing dinosaur.
I mean, it's a lot cuter than I am.
Well, that's debatable.
I don't know.
Church.
What's on your shirt?
That's the
Conan. Yeah.
Kessel Run.
Oh,
no.
Conan.
Yeah,
You can do
yeah.
it in
Can
Conan.
you complete it in under 12 parsecs?
Well, given that it's a unit of length and not time, probably.
Sucker.
They explained that in the Han Solo movie.
Well, in Cyberpunk, you
Explain.
could specifically customize your penis, or choose to not have one,
Yeah.
or to choose to not have genitalia at all.
I think Conan
sorry,
allowed you to modify
rough.
breast size and package
Oh,
size.
gosh.
Yeah,
I'd
it was like
to-
a pretty robust character creation.
Robust.
Yeah, girthy. It was a girthy customization system. Man, that game fucking sucked.
What did?
Conan.
Barbarian?
Yeah. It was ruined by the fact that other people also have to play that game.
It wasn't the riddle of steel so much as it was the personality test of plastic.
Okay.
Riddle of steel, Conan. Am I dating myself?
You might be.
I mean,
Did you guys watch Conan?
I don't remember the movies at
You
all.
read the books? No. I'm
Read the
dating myself.
books.
Dude, the books are so fucking good.
Probably better.
Oh my
than
God.
The movie,
I've seen a movie
Tower of
with
the Elephant? No.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was Conan. And I've also seen a movie with Khal Drogo, who was also Conan.
I don't believe you.
Unlike these pros, chat, go read Tower of the Elephant.
Am I up high?
Thank me later.
Yeah, I was up high. I just feel like I'm bigger than you guys in the video over
Josh,
there.
you're bigger than us.
Fuck you.
Your personality is massive.
Your heart.
Your heart
you
is
have an
huge.
enlarged
let us
heart
finish,
disease. You need to see a doctor.
Much like a horse. Got a big heart.
Can you also not vomit?
Oh, no, I can
No, he
vomit.
definitely can.
Do you walk on your toenails?
Thank God, no.
You damn ungulate.
There you go, bitch.
What am I?
Are horses even-toed,
Now you're little.
Well, I feel like I'm more
What?
normal size now. Thank you.
or are they odd-toed?
It depends on the type of ungulate.
Well, we know they're not prime toad. We know that for sure.
They're not even ungulates, are they?
They're
Horses?
ungulates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're definitely ungulates.
Okay.
Yeah, half the way we define like lineages of evolution is by how their fucking feet looks. Like that's actually, I think the main difference between a tortoise and a turtle isn't whether they're necessarily land or water dwelling, but like the shape of their goddamn feet. I think all archaeologists just have foot fetishes. I'm saying it now.
You heard it here first.
Quote me.
Yeah.
Canceled Nick.
Yep.
He's fucking kink shaming archaeologists.
No, don't kink shame, homie. That's not cool.
Not shaming.
It's not cool.
He's outing them.
Mm-hmm.
Which also gets you canceled.
Do you get canceled by outing other people?
Yes, 100%.
Do you get
I'm not up
canceled
on the
by
cancel
outing
game.
outers?
There was a guy on Survivor who got canceled from Survivor for outing a guy.
Okay, that was rough. He shouldn't have fucking done that.
No, well, 100% he shouldn't have, and they should
That
have
was
kicked him
rough.
off the show. I thought that was a hilarious tie together of you not being here because you're watching Survivor,
Yeah.
and then giving Nick an example.
Now
of
it's
being
actually
canceled for that.
it turns out it was a 2-hour premiere, so I left in the middle of it.
Oh,
I still
well.
don't-
Hey, well, thank you.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Yeah.
Did the chick leave or is she still watching it?
No, she's still watching it. And it's like I'm gonna come by.
her to come to the podcast. She's still
We're
at your
friends.
house.
We're friends. No, I was
Oh,
at her
okay,
house.
okay.
It
you're
was
at her house.
a former coworker.
Josh
and
will do a lot for females, but only so much. The man has limits.
1 hour.
Well, I mean, other arrangements. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
Continue. I want you to elaborate as much as possible to see how much you can fit that foot in your mouth.
I'm just gonna stop there. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I actually watched a clip from that fairly recently of that Survivor episode because I don't watch Survivor, but it popped up in my YouTube suggestions. I saw that one where they pretty much literally just the host, whatever his name is, was just like, "We don't need a vote. You shouldn't have done that. That's fucked up. Get off the show."
I don't think there were horses with different amounts of toes. I feel like you're making that up. But,
It's a whole genetic line of horses that died out. Do not get me started on weird horses.
Did they have like
They had an
Like
odd
hippo?
number of toes.
like the hippo foot?
Fucking hippos, dude. Those are terrifying.
Yes, they are.
It's because they're land whales.
They're also an odd-toed ungulate, I believe.
I don't think they're an ungulate. I think they're just a monster that bites crocodiles in half.
If you objectively look at any ungulate, they all look like monsters.
You ever seen a horse?
Yeah.
Like in real life, right up in your face?
Yes, I have.
Fucking weird as shit.
I could show you a video of a horse. That's like an Animorph turning into a horse. You guys remember those books, Animorphs?
Oh, yeah.
Like there was Josh Animorphing into a horse. Horses don't look like monsters.
Yeah, they
I mean, I did when I Animorphed into one, but
Also accurate.
look like monsters. What is happening on this page?
I don't know.
You telling me that's not
Jesus
a monster
Christ.
face?
Well, when you just get their teeth and gums,
They look like
God.
the speaker for Sauron, right, from Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
You will fell, Prince of the Luna died.
Can we watch TikToks on the stream?
Probably not, but TikTok is great.
I mean,
I just got it.
we can
It's
watch
fun.
specific TikToks.
Can we just watch Denethor eating the tomato
No.
over and over again?
Sing, Hobbit.
Do.
It's not the song he's
It's in my head all the time, man. It's a fucking
Don't
problem.
play me, Josh. Oh, boy, we got some
Some sassy molassies in here.
yeah,
Horses have a long
real
lineage.
porky mouths. Or
Pork-
porky fingers.
You just showed up. Can you slow
Yeah.
down on the racial
This
slurs?
is your chat.
What should I send this to? This link?
Pig Americans?
Um,
Porcine Americans?
Smart mouth. It's something my okay, well, I probably shouldn't say things my grandparents said.
yes.
I
That-
just
that-
dated myself earlier. Don't worry about it.
I mean-
We're all old here. It's okay.
That might get you into some trouble.
I think it's
My-
set to automatically sign in as you. So if you just link it in the VGT chat.
Is that fucking weird bug.
Oh, I thought we couldn't link in that chat.
That
them,
weird
uh,
bug
yeah. It's
Oh,
a
no,
bag.
you can,
is what we
Oh,
call
I
a
can't.
mosquito eater,
But it doesn't do that.
but it doesn't.
No.
but I was also talking
I
about the
believe
Discord
it's
chat.
also called a crane fly.
That's a cooler name.
Well, which one should I send it in?
Send it in the Discord. Yeah.
Russ, join the Hat Club.
Club hat.
Club hat.
Tipulidae?
See, my hat has an icon on it because I want people to know what kind of car I drive, even when I'm not driving.
You can leave now. That was enough. I'm done.
Actually, so in Josh's defense, we had all tased ourselves that night. He was telling the truth.
Non sequitur much? What are we talking about?
Read chat, bro.
I'm reading about crane flies. This is really important.
She's asking about the time that Josh wanted to tase her because everyone else has been tased.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
I'm all about equality. Thanks for pointing that out. Appreciate it.
Justin did his dick.
As long as it's not full charge.
So
Yeah. You're willing.
Volts
Exactly.
we're an equal opportunity amperage group. Probably not amps. That would have killed us.
Yeah, amps are bad.
DS volt.
Yeah, that's the throughput. I had vague
So
memories.
now you're
of
just
the
talking
taser.
about picking on drunk people, and that's not nice.
I mean, a taser's always going to apply to like what.
Oh, look
How
at this
powerful
guy.
a taser is.
God, an angel centaurs. I don't. That's probably bad.
Okay, this TikTok channel is fucking amazing.
Okay.
It's God
Give
and
me a
his
taste.
like his for one angel, and they're like making all the stuff for humans and Earth.
Okay.
So
sketch up some designs for that horse human combined
Centaurs,
thing.
yeah.
Centaurs.
No, yeah. Oh, very excited. Sweet. Yeah,
Wanna check 'em out?
Yeah, for sure.
Here we go. That's the first one. What do you think?
No. That's gonna fall over way too easily.
Tip over?
Yeah,
Yeah.
way too top heavy.
Okay, solid point.
Next.
How do you feel about this one?
No, it's not majestic enough. That it looks
Majesty.
depressed. No.
Not majestic enough. Okay, note taken. I got that. You're gonna like this next
That was
one.
one of the least majestic
Here we
things I've
go.
ever seen.
No.
No.
No way. No. Remember how I made you said I made cows too sexy? Look at this. It's got a hanging dong thing. I'm not a fan of that. Not digging that at all.
Okay,
small.
not digging, hanging human dong.
Yeah.
Understandable, sir.
Next.
All right,
Is
this
there a-
one.
Please
This
tell me.
one, I like it.
What the fuck is that? Get that thing to fuck.
Can you full screen
I'm
it?
gonna have literal nightmares.
Hard
from
pat-
that.
hard pass?
The hardest. pass.
Okay.
the
Last one.
hardest.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's beautiful. This is good. That is good work. And the weaponry?
The weaponry, that was my idea.
Really?
Yeah.
You beautiful little genius. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
Great job.
Okay. One more idea, though. Let me throw it at you.
Okay.
Okay.
You're kind of on fire.
Thank you. I know how you were loving the name Centaurs, and I get it. Lot to like about it. But what do you think about Pony Boys?
Whew, you just can't stop while you're ahead, can you?
No?
Say it again.
No.
Pony Boys. Yeah, okay, I get it.
Highly recommend you guys check them out.
All right,
Pretty
G.
hilarious stuff.
It helps when I can see.
It would have, yeah, that's fair.
Bronies. I mean, yeah, bronies.
Well, the cow problem they had in the earlier TikTok was that because they caught the humans milking the cows and drinking the milk from the cows.
Not allowed
and
to
they're like,
do
what
that.
the fuck? They're not supposed to be doing that. Why are they doing that?
Like right off the udder?
Yeah.
Hot off the udder.
I mean, they're primitive humans, man. They probably did just like go have a teat suckle. They don't have like a cup to put it in.
Is that a tuckle? We were talking about tuckles the other day.
No.
The other day.
We weren't tuckles.
I don't know what
There were
chuggles.
chuckles and chuggles.
No, before Chuggle, there was tuckles.
There was Tuckle. The superpowered tuckling was the last podcast episode.
Yeah.
Oh, I just remember it from my house
I
name.
can't hear you, by the way.
From the house name that I had in King's Dilemma. I was
The Tuckles.
The house Tuckle, yeah.
How's Tuckle?
Superpowered tuckling was the name of the last podcast we did before coronavirus.
Oh, how did I remember?
Yeah, that was
Whoa.
that is
Points
longer
to
than your
me.
memory, sir.
It's
See,
'cause it happened
words.
just before the
You
pandemic.
can't invent a new word and mean not remember it, right? Tuckling
Yeah,
definitely sounds like it should be a word.
especially if it's high powered.
Yeah.
Super even.
We probably have quite a few podcasts about milking things. I don't know why.
Probably every podcast.
Some milk related.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be the moist boys. We need to be the milk boys.
Milk boys.
Are you being paid by Big Teat?
Big teat industries?
Yes, sir. Definitely not little teeth.
You have to tell me if you're a cop.
It's multi-teat.
A milk cop.
Milk cop.
It's multi-teat.
You have a milk
Look at
mustache.
this mop over here
Instead of the porn staff, you always have a milk mustache.
Oh.
It's part of the uniforms.
Okay. If it's in the Urban Dictionary, what does it mean?
Do not finger quotes urban.
What? It's definitely deserved a finger quote.
The dairy detective. Yes, sir.
Oh,
If you're going to air quotes Urban Dictionary, do the whole thing, not the urban part, because that gets weirdly racist. The Urban Dictionary.
Well, it's not a rural dictionary.
Is there a rural
to
dictionary?
cuddle and tickle.
Dude,
Tuckle.
there should be.
Okay.
No.
I was thinking maybe tucking in and tickling, but that works too.
One person said the toe knuckle, but they don't know how to spell.
Oh,
You
I
can't-
could see toe knuckle too.
You can't do
That's
those two things.
honestly, I don't want it to be toe knuckle because I like toe knuckle too much. Toe knuckle.
I disagree that tuckling is a possibility. They're two separate activities that are mutually exclusive. You cannot both tickle and cuddle simultaneously.
Tuckle to me.
Yeah, sure you can. It's called
No.
a struggle snuggle, homie.
No, that's also its own thing.
You've been
Yeah,
here
it's its own thing.
5 minutes. Tuckle to me sounds like a verb describing some form of audio
I think-
phenomena.
Wasn't it tickling and sucking?
Well, I don't.
Tuckling.
Our
I mean, you
original
can do
definition.
those,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you should.
Tickle and suckle.
I'm going to tuckle the hell out of you is a quote from the podcast. We were talking about, it was a podcast where we were talking about camping for the last time. And we tuckled
Fuck
each other
does
or
the
something.
internet know, honestly.
Tuckling to me sounds like some sort of grifty thieving verb.
Well, I'm going to tuckle you.
Yeah, that guy got tuckled.
Yeah, he got tuckled hard.
Took him for all it was worth. It was such a
I
quick
like it.
tuckling.
Okay, how
like
about
it.
this? A seduction leading into a mugging is a tuckling. That boy got tuckled. Woman was flirting with him in the back alley behind the bar, the tavern.
So, wait, sorry, I missed it. So a tuckle is a female.
It's
mug?
specifically being mugged, but leading up to
seduced
that, you were
into
being
mugging.
seduced.
I like this. I
Yeah.
think that fits weirdly
So you get,
enough.
yeah. Guys
Yeah,
like,
like a
oh,
honey
this
pot,
chick's into
but,
me, and she wants to go
Like
make
a
out in the
more
back alley.
low-grade version of a honeypot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
More violent honeypot.
Yeah. More violent honeypot.
a lot more stabbing.
Probing with the fingers.
That went dark quick.
And I am way more right than the internet is. All the time.
Well, I mean,
Josh is just
I fucking said the internet doesn't fucking know anything. I just want to be contrary. So,
The internet knows everything.
yeah, no, too much maybe.
I mean, on the internet
much.
to you, but I am not on the internet. I am here presently.
Russ
In
is
my
a
living
flesh
room.
bag.
no one's phone. Nobody heard anything.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you've had that notification noise on your phone for way too long.
It's true.
Well,
There's a time limit on notification sounds.
I can't speak
there?
to that.
how long is it? Enlighten me.
5 months.
8 to 15 months long
I've
is the maximum.
I've used 2 notification sounds.
I mean, maximum for boomers.
I had the Murloc and then I went
Boomers
to the
never
Boo-wee-doo.
change theirs. That's what do you?
That's true.
Theirs is infinite.
I'll give you.
They don't
that.
know how to change their notification sound.
I never changed mine either.
I think the important thing is,
I think
if you
boomers-
change it from default, you then have to keep changing it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Like once you've changed it once, you have to keep changing it. Otherwise, faux pas.
Well, I mean, you've unlocked the knowledge of notification changing, and you can't unlearn that.
How else are you going to show to your peers that you're with it? That you're wearing the digital onion on your belt?
I have fucking TikTok now. I'm obviously with it.
You're not with it because you change your notification sound.
I just like Futurama. Leave me alone.
Get a different
You know,
Futurama.
there are other,
notification sounds.
Get the stabby dude's laughter.
Yeah.
The robot, the stabby robot.
Roberto?
Sure.
Yes. Roberto the Stabby Robot is his full name.
I think it's like Roberto the homicidal robot, but
Sounds about right.
I wouldn't know. I've seen a handful of Futurama.
Futurama's great. It's really funny.
It is a really good show.
It's
I
a
don't
good
think
show.
It's really
Futurama's
smart.
bad. So when I look at Futurama, I see everything that The Simpsons eventually became.
Yeah.
And Simpsons got really bad for a long time. And Futurama was just an extension, I think, of that kind of bad television. And I don't want to say it's bad because it's not. I mean, it's still entertaining. It's still funny.
Totally.
Like I can watch both newer Simpsons and Futurama and get entertainment out of it. But there's definitely a quality shift from like
I don't know.
not very first Simpsons, but like there's a golden era of Simpsons.
Yeah, it's the first 10 seasons, homie. It's 10 seasons long.
But is the first season qualified, or do we do like 2 through 10?
I would say, yeah, the first season qualifies.
Okay, I haven't seen it in a long time, so
I just rewatched it like a couple years ago. Just the first 10 seasons, that's about all I can make it through. But that's
Okay.
like prime childhood.
Of The Simpsons?
Yeah.
You just watched.
10 seasons of The Simpsons, yes.
I mean, I would do that. I watch now that I found out that it's on
It's on Disney Plus
Disney
or whatever.
Plus and
Yeah.
shit. I've
Yeah.
been watching a lot more of it too. So, you can watch a lot of Simpsons episodes on YouTube, but they are
Like,
they have to actively thwart the
Like
copyright.
reverse the image. And
They'll reverse the image, they'll blow it up slightly, and then they'll
Yeah.
also just cut sections out of the episode.
Yeah, it's
that
weird.
doesn't.
It's weird.
That does not work very well with a show that is like just punchlines after punchlines. Because half the time you're like they lead up to a joke and then it cuts away.
It's like
and you're
someone,
like,
it's like someone did shitty Simpsons abridged.
oh man, it's like blue balls in comedy. It's I don't recommend it.
It's the worst when they have, part 1 of 3 for an episode just to split it up for time.
yeah.
And like part 2 is missing because that got copyright struck.
yeah.
I saw that on Disney Plus. It's like apparently they've made a number of like that look like Simpsons movies since the movie.
Yeah, they're like Simpson shorts, like things.
Shorpsons.
Shorpsons. Have you watched any of the Star Wars Visions?
Do we hold on? That's podcast talk.
Have I watched any of the show that just came out last night?
We're not podcasting tonight because the moons are unaligned.
No, we're podcasting.
What are they unaligned
You
with?
said to save stuff for the podcast that we weren't doing tonight.
No, he said wait for Josh to record the
for
podcast.
Josh to get here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Here I am.
So he's here now. Let's reserve our ammo
I
a
didn't
little
watch
bit.
the whole thing. It was
Let's reserve our ammo.
Yeah,
As he
and
continues
he just
talking.
that's there's plenty of ammo, don't you worry.
Full moon.
There's more where that came from.
It's no moon.
It's Josh's.
It's
Is
that the noise floor?
Uranus.
Noise floor?
Are we
I feel
doing
like
that?
the noise floor would
We
have
will need one,
a
yeah.
moon.
Are we podcasting now, or are we just
Well,
slipping right into it? Or
we
no?
we will. Yes.
5 seconds.
Are you
of
guys ready?
silence.
No, I mean,
5 seconds of
prepared.
silence.
Get your vape in. Pee if you need to.
Can I pee tobacco into my lungs? Is that too long?
that's disturbing.
Too much.
I had to bridge the gap there, and liquid
We talked
was
about
the only
tuckling,
way.
and that was too much.
Dude,
Yeah.
you're watching Survivor. You don't.
We
just
have an
say
episode on tuckling. Okay.
We need to rewatch the episode, find out what tuckling was about.
Apparently we do. Yeah.
Survivor is quality TV.
It's not
Incorrect.
saying much.
Quality entertainment. It might
at
not
least
be
need to
quality
be.
That's-
TV.
Yeah. Okay.
Acceptable.
I got the full contact running through me.
Quick.
This dude
Elbow him in the nards. What?
Whoa.
Why is he judging?
Because he's 9% fucking alcohol.
Oh.
And they don't tell you that right off the bat.
He's hazy.
He's like, hey, look,
And-
this is a weak whiskey.
Tastes like fucking. I don't even. How do you even describe?
This guy fucks.
How do you even describe the taste? of
He
hop?
he does, and he demands that you fuck as well.
He's holding a brain.
Yeah, he's gonna fuck that brain. He's gonna mind fuck you.
Church.
Have you ever heard "getting brain" as a euphemism for getting head?
No.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
It's something.
Well, I mean, it kind of makes. It sounds to me more like testicles were put in a mouth. Because hanging brain, that means your balls are out, right? You know?
Hanging brain just means plopping it out.
I thought it was specifically testicles.
I don't think so.
Somebody want to look that up? One of these chat people want to
gonna
weigh
keep
in on that
Blinking.
hanging brain?
Yeah, I think I first heard one of my older brothers say that, and I'm like, that just is unpleasant.
Well, and then getting brained. That means like someone hit you in the head. Like I'm going to fucking brain you.
That's accurate.
That does not mean I'm going to suck your dick.
It does not. Turns out we can have.
Well, I mean,
similar
English. The
colloquialisms,
English
so-
language does that. I'll give you that.
It's the act of pulling one's scrotum, testicles included. What?
It's your scrot, bro.
Testicles included. So how are you going to pull your scrot without your testicles?
I'll show you
out of
after
your
the show.
pants.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll show you after the podcast.
I'm pretty
homie.
sure that
I'll learn you. I'll learn you.
Well, I'm certainly glad I came back from the bathroom.
That's how.
Oh
you
my
do-
God. I cannot show this.
Don't show that on this.
This guy has a testicle on his face.
Yeah, that's a ball on chinny. And
where that goes.
He's looking up what hanging brain means. Josh was adamant that it's only the testicles.
And I was correct. Scrot or testicles.
I mean, they're one and the same
Yeah,
for the most
yeah.
part.
Is that where you grab like the underside of the skin and pull it over the whole package? So you got like the sphere.
That's the chicken wing.
No, that's the chicken wings where you just stretch it out.
That's the bat wing.
I'm thinking
That
of
is the bat wing.
the
Bat wing,
Technodrome.
chicken wing. I think those
Chicken
terms.
skin.
I think those terms are interchangeable, aren't they?
Well, I meant maybe it was chicken skin. Maybe chicken skin.
I think chicken skin is just to hold no testicles.
Oh, just yeah. So there's the testicles, no scrot, or scrot, no testicles.
But how
Yes.
do you drop your scrotum out of your pants without your testicles?
You just kind of
You pull it out.
Yeah,
you don't
just
drop
a little
it.
bit.
Yeah.
Dude,
Be
I
like
have
a
huge
pinch.
balls, man.
Then you have a huge scrot to hold them.
yeah.
Yeah.
That shit's made out of Laffy Taffy, motherfucker.
Church. All right. Are
Don't
you,
chew on it though.
Are you guys
that
ready?
doesn't.
Oh, next subject. That was fantastic. What was that show with Hugh Jackman?
That is movie
Studio 42 or
movie 43,
3. Yeah, something.
Yes.
Yeah.
and that movie is fantastic.
When they keep clipping those nuts. When that lady clips
And they
it
had
with
Halle
the tray.
Berry, and they were doing the dares, right?
It gets cold and it like recedes. Up
Yeah.
his neck. It's called AC's on.
And he just straight manned that whole time. I can't imagine how many takes that took.
Oh my god.
He will be a legend forever
That
for
right
doing
there,
that.
that
scene.
that right there is acting chops. You know, I mean, there's no way I could have made it through that.
I mean, there's a lot of like bananas ass content in that movie because you have the guy that's on the show with Ricky Gervais and Carl Pilkington is the other comedian, the tall skinny.
Idiot Abroad
Yeah, he's a tall skinny
Yeah.
British guy.
with the glasses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's in a bit with Halle Berry where they're on a blind date
And they're doing the dares.
and they're doing the dares. Yeah,
Oh, we need to turn the air conditioning off.
AC off.
Do we?
Moment of silence.
Yeah.
Yes.
that's
How
not
do I
working.
point at Russ? Russ, this guy. Elbow.
That's your elbow and mine. What are you talking about? Get that fucking out of here.
I'm gonna bring you to the noise floor.
You keep threatening that, and we don't do it.
I think it sounds.
We have to
cool.
develop the lore first. Josh has already started. There's a moon involved. We know that much.
It's no moon. We think it's a moon.
There's a lack of moon.
No, it looks like a moon.
Let's stop talking for a second.
Moonlessness.
So we were talking about the noise floor the other day, a bar that has yet to exist. And it may or may not involve a moon.
Get your hand out of my frame.
Maintain frame.
Josh, define how the noise floor has a lack of moon. The lore needs to be developed. This is really important.
It looks like it's a moon, but later in the story, we're going to find out it's not. It's not a moon.
Also, not a space station. It wouldn't be that easy.
So is it like from far away it looks like a moon, but you get up close and you realize it's not a moon?
Yes.
So the whole ceiling is like a moonscape, but it's actually a bunch of Polaroids of people's butts.
And the noise floor is
You
on the
figured it
ceiling.
out. No, and the noise.
Whoa.
I mean,
Mind
It's
blown.
not get weird.
Well, that's what we're saying. Apparently, the noise floor is just a fucking shitty skybox.
Bump into it. Ah,
Just a bunch of alpha textures.
can't go that way.
Yeah. Dude, how fun would that be to put like fucking clear acrylic glass walls in like a dance studio, like a bar, like a bunch of drunk people walking around and they just run into a non-existent wall? I'd pay money. I want to see it. Which moon of Saturn? There's a lot of moons of Saturn.
There's like 40 of them.
Yeah.
So to start the podcast out, I kind of wanted to talk about what's happened. So I realized after we released last week's podcast that like literally everything's changed about the podcast, except for its content for the most part. So we were the Balcony Time Podcast, just a group of guys, witty banter, and we called it a day. Now we're that, but we kind of changed the theme to be a little bit more video game focused. So we plan on bringing in some video game essentially we were already doing that, right? We brought up topics that we wanted to, but it was often a video game focused. So basically what we were kind of turning into was a live show mixed with the on-demand audio podcast on every podcast platform that you can download on. We also wanted to have like a bigger YouTube presence, and we also wanted to reach out to kind of as many people as possible. And we were thinking that a little bit more focus on gaming would be just kind of a good idea. Keep the conversation flowing and have it so we could bring topics to the table that we, had a little bit more knowledge in and stuff that we were actually just interested in. So we changed the formula a little bit. We're Video Game Tango now. We are no longer the Balcony Time Podcast. Before, we were the Balcony Time Podcast, brought to you by Video Game Tango. We had all these kind of aspirations to stream and do things on Twitch. That never really came to fruition, so we kind of wanted to just like deliver you content in as many forms as possible, with more regularity. And we figured having a video game focus kind of leads to being able to do that. So when we want to stream, we can stream. We don't have a dedicated schedule for that, just kind of whenever it happens. It also means that we can do more short form content, things like, short YouTube videos, stuff that fits within 15 minutes, along with bringing you the podcast each week. So we just changed things up a bit. We're still going to be delivering a weekly podcast, but we also hope to do more content on top of that. Just so we can kind of, be with you guys more often and give you more of us, if you are into that kind of thing.
I want to give you all as much of me as you're willing to have.
Yeah. Josh wants to flood you.
It's some pre-planned unknown date. We're just going to stab Josh live on stream.
It'll happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to Caesar me.
Yep.
As long as it's off camera, you'll hear
I'm going
it.
to tattoo Cartago Delende Est on your forehead.
There's a reason that he gets cut off where he gets cut off. It's because we're going to cut him off below.
So you can't see for the Night's Watch that we're going to...
Yeah, exactly.
And who are you? Paulson said.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Yeah. We just kind of wanted to talk about that. And obviously we had a lot of time to kind of change things. COVID happened. And I think we all thought that, especially after we talked about it on the podcast, that it would just be a good idea for us to not do anything in person until there was a vaccine and more.
We were all vaccinated.
Yeah, and just more clear safety protocols. Because we record in a living room.
We used to cough in each other's drinks. It was just habit.
And each other's butts, and we all know how that works. So
this is how close we are.
Right. So we figured we would do this. We had aspirations of doing like a remote podcast and stuff like that, but it just never happened. So we work best when we hang out. That's why we were the Balcony Time Podcast. It's because we've been friends forever and we've been doing this forever. We're just doing it live.
And Chat has some good ideas too. And if there's one thing that we need, it's feedback. Because when you're just casting into the void and there's no response, you assume you're doing the right thing, but you're not sure. So I would love any feedback. If you just want to completely lambaste us, hatchet job, do it.
It's really easy to.
Something.
We have a presence on Facebook. We're Video Game Tango on Facebook and Twitter. Or you go to videogametango.com. There's a little icon in the bottom right hand of the page that says contact us. You can email us, or you can even leave live voicemails. So feel free to do that. We want any and all feedback for the podcast, for content that you might be interested in the future. Like we plan on doing gameplays. We have our YouTube channel up. Unfortunately, like you can look up Video Game Tango on YouTube. I don't have like a shorter URL for you. We need more subscribers for that.
And that quickly leads into the fact that we're small. If you want to give us feedback, you're going to get attention.
Yes.
And like if you want to have a dialogue with us, you will get it.
100%.
Yes. We're not any Markipliers or Division Pete's or any of those other mathematical big YouTube personalities.
Yeah.
You have to subscribe to Patreon to talk to me.
Russ is a whole different thing.
I'm the premium level.
At
$5
some
a
point,
month.
at some point, we might do some premium content, but for now, we figured we'd give it all. I'm currently editing the first podcast down to do the pre-podcast, mid-roll, and the after show. Because we like people that are joining us live on twitch.tv/videogametango right now. They get to see all of the before and after. We've been recording for about an hour and a half now before we started the podcast. So you can always join us live Wednesdays around 8-ish Pacific time.
If everything goes to plan,
jump in chat.
get in here.
Yeah.
Tagline.
Get over here.
Get over here.
Hey, you. Get in here.
Yeah. Would you mind coming over? That needs to be like the PC Scorpion. Like,
Dude, okay, so speaking of Scorpion, I watched the Mortal Kombat movie. Josh, I think you've watched it too.
I have, yes.
What a hot piece of shit.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I mean, yeah, but it was entertaining. I had fun. I feel like it knew what it was, and it leaned into that.
No, I don't think it was self-aware at all. I think they really went in here trying to make an excellent movie. And
did someone say fatality?
oh yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
well, that's a little self-aware.
Yeah,
Gotta give him that.
There was like a Liu Kang wins. He announced it himself. Like,
And how is that not self-aware?
It's
So
very
the-
Liu Kang.
yes, there's definitely a little bit of self-awareness, but I actually think that they were striving to make. Well, it sets itself up for sequels.
Yeah.
but why not?
And
How many
I
Mortal
get you.
Kombat games are there, homie?
11.
Well,
It's
we're
more
probably
than
not going to
that,
get that many movies, but they want to fucking milk it for 3. Come on
Dude, I
now.
want to see Mortal Kombat 11, the movie, just to see how far down the rabbit hole they've had to go.
It just wasn't good. I mean, like that. Like it wasn't campy and fun. It was bad, and that's really sad because the first movie, for all the quibbles you can throw at it, was a fun movie, and especially at our age.
I disagree wholeheartedly. It was bad, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Let's put it this way. If you had to compare it to other movies that you go into knowing, okay, I cannot take this seriously, even at like this level, where does it rank amongst the Transformers and the Ninja Mutant Turtles and the G.I. Joes? Like, is it better or worse than those other campy movies?
Wait, the G.I. Joe movie is one of the few movies that The Rock cannot save, and I feel like this was slightly better than that.
Okay, so B minus.
It's C+.5.
Okay,
That's pretty bad.
I would.
Okay, B minus then.
Josh
I
gives
guess.
it an
I've
R.
I don't know. I watch a lot of movies. As long as there's a start, a middle, and a finish, and it plays
Yeah.
all together, I will have it on in the background.
Your B minus is my D.
I mean, I don't disagree with that statement either. But
Okay, so here's the thing. It didn't keep me entertained at all.
what were you expecting from a Mortal Kombat reboot movie?
What I was hoping for, okay, was the quality of the first film. You know, a modernized version.
There was no quality in the first
I loved
film.
the first film.
Well,
and
whether you loved it or not, that doesn't mean it had quality.
It's like 8,
right?
10. Yeah, it was
bad.
kick ass,
Well,
but it's
let
awful.
me rephrase.
But it was a fun movie. Like even now, it's still kind of a fun. It's campy enough that you can still have fun with that movie.
But it's a bad fun movie.
Yeah, I'm not saying otherwise. It wasn't a fucking fantastic movie by any stretch, but I enjoyed it.
So obviously it's a campy movie, and even like when it first came out, everybody knew that it was kind of a campy, shitty movie. What are the parts that you said, despite it being a campy movie, this is what I enjoyed about it that made me laugh or enjoy it?
I wouldn't say there's a lot to laugh about. I think it's just kind of a cornball movie at this point. Like for it,
It's just cringe, or
no, I wouldn't call it cringe. I think for the time, it was fine. And today, it's just camp. I can't say that it's cringe. It's just camp.
Okay.
Right. Whereas this movie seemed, while it had its moments, I think more than self-awareness, it was supposed to be fan service.
Yeah. Okay.
And it didn't have the campy quality. I feel like they really tried on CGI and failed.
Okay.
It's also, so if the movie had been kind of what it promised in the first few minutes of the movie, I think it could have been a good movie.
Okay.
Because the tone of the first 5 minutes of the movie versus the rest of the movie was totally different.
I watched a handful of reviews and like lookovers at it, so I haven't seen the movie, but I know the general plot line. Here's a good idea. The recent Power Rangers movie that came out, to me, that was a solid like B camp movie where there was just enough fan service. It was like, oh, there's the theme song, perfect timing,
sure.
haha. Okay, cool. Like the movie wasn't good, and I enjoyed it kind of. But like I put that right, like Josh is saying, C+B- area. Where like, okay, I knew what I was getting. It didn't even quite even meet those standards, but like I didn't pay any money to watch it, so it's not like I wasted my time. I could have been doing something better. Where do you feel the Mortal Kombat movie is? Like that level, above, below? Was it below that?
It was below. There was really very little I enjoyed about the movie. There were little things in particular that the hyper violence was fun. They had essentially like a Mortal Kombat 10 or 11 style fatality during the movie.
Super gruesome.
So yeah, 100%. So that was fine. That was good.
Yeah.
Was there anything that stood out to you,
So
Josh?
let me give you one scene. Okay. So Jax in this movie, it shows him losing his arms. Okay, we all know that happens.
Jax
Laura
is the cyborg with the metal arms.
Yeah, he's the dude with the metal arms.
Yeah.
In the movie, they're searching for something called their like anima or something like that. I can't remember the term they use, but it's their magical power, right? It's how Liu Kang can shoot a fireball. It's how Kano can shoot a laser out of his eye. It's how Sub-Zero can control ice and
Yes, the MacGuffin.
Yeah, the MacGuffin. Jax, in a moment of heroism, grows metal arms. That is his shtick. Is he grew metal arms
through his sheer will?
Yes. I'm
No.
not. Yes, he fucking did. You can't say otherwise.
No.
Josh
grew
was like, the
metal
noise
arms.
he made is this, not that.
No.
What happened?
He had shitty little bitch metal arms, and then he got his chi, and then those shitty little bitch arms became
Bigger
better.
metal arms.
Yes, but he
Okay, so
already
he
had
arms.
He already had metal arms, homie. He didn't grow them; they
Yeah, he
became
did.
better. That's all. I mean,
Literally, as his metal arms are
Kano
starting to
got a
break
metal
apart.
fucking laser eye, but you're drawing the line at fucking arms. He
No,
didn't grow the arms.
I'm giving
They got
one
better.
instance. Thank you for giving me another one.
Is there a chance that one of you guys watched a bootleg version of the movie?
I watched it on HBO Max.
I
So
think
did
there's
I.
a pretty big difference. If a guy's standing there, fucking no arms, and grows metal arms.
Okay,
I-
I'm
yes, a
watching
guy
this
whose
scene
arms
right
get
now.
bigger, like that's a pretty big difference.
Watch
Okay.
the scene.
Hold up. Let's rewind this real quick. So we have this image of Jax. He's stressing. He's trying. It looks like he's really constipated, and he's got these little. He has got robot arms, but they're pulling a transformer.
Yeah.
All the bits are getting bigger. Now he's, oh man, I can do it, and he throws a boulder. So he's proving to the audience, show not tell, that he's strong now.
Yes.
because he threw a rock.
So that is the magic power bestowed unto him because he's special.
That's not bad.
It could have been
It
worse.
sounds like it fits the rest of the theme of the movie.
I
which
think
is
it would have been
fine.
better
Well,
had he just randomly grown robot arms.
So-
Like out of stubs, that would have been perfect.
That would have been terrible. Are you kidding? Where did the
For
where,
a Mortal Kombat movie, like him just going and robot arms pop out, like it doesn't get any better than that. Like again, you got to lean fully into the camp. It's a Mortal Kombat movie. Be like, oh, I'm
I don't think anyone's just growing fucking metal shit for no
there's
reason.
summoning ice
Homie
swords.
throws down his sombrero or his fucking big white ass hat and like jumps on a dude and fucking surfs him right into it, fucking sawmill style.
I'm
It
talking
was
about the dude with
fucking
the saw
awesome.
hat.
It was awesome.
Okay.
That scene was cool.
There was
I'm not going to argue
plenty of
that.
cool shit in that movie. There was plenty of cool shit to string together an hour and a half
Also,
of a good time.
What about the choreography, man? Most of it was Power Rangers level choreography.
No
Okay.
choreographer worth his salt is going to work on Mortal Kombat, the movie.
Some of the
too.
choreography.
The first Mortal Kombat movie had garbage choreography.
100%, 100%. But it's 2021.
It's a low
This was
bar.
not great choreography, but it was like, I don't know. I've seen worse.
For the budget of this movie, you can hire a choreographer.
I will watch this before next podcast.
yeah, definitely watch it. Yeah, definitely
And I
watch
will
it.
weigh in because I feel like you have Josh who readily accepts too many things. He does not judge them harshly enough. And then you have Andy,
forbid you have a
who
good time.
has trouble watching any movie. So it's like two ends of the spectrum there.
Russ, you're gonna watch this movie and go to the hospital for like internal bleeding.
mean,
You're gonna watch
possible.
this movie and give your opinion. Like you're gonna keen at some high pitch, and the glass is gonna shatter in the
The doctor's going to say, finish him.
I mean, that would be an enjoyable experience. If that movie can work me up that much, that'll be a good one.
The thing is, I wasn't worked up until bringing it up with Josh, and he likes it. So
Like, am I gonna fucking watch it again?
I
But
just
like,
watched
if
it
you
and was
have an
bored.
hour and a half and you like Mortal Kombat, watch it.
I love Mortal Kombat, man.
Not enough. That's
Clearly.
what's been properly on display here. You do not love Mortal Kombat enough.
I think the important thing is they're coming out with a
Josh
Twisted Metal
does.
TV show. I'll bring it up again.
I still think that's a good idea.
Yeah, it can,
I
it can be
also
I
good.
think it's
that's
a
an
much
excellent
better
idea.
idea than another video game because that would have fucking flopped so hard, right? Nobody wants to play Dad's weird racing game with a clown.
Yeah.
So
Oh, we're in the podcast now, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
you
cool.
can talk about important things.
Well, I got my list is on here now. That
Ooh.
brings up the Wheel of Time series. Is already recasting one of their primary characters.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a character named Matt Cthulhu, and for season 2 they're replacing him. And I'm like, that is
So that
never good.
well, it like with a show with this much funding, that also never happens unless it's for like some sort of crazy health reason or a family emergency or something.
I'm not
Or he's getting
saying
canceled.
there's anything wrong with him with that. There's a myriad of reasons that are perfectly acceptable for someone sub down. What I'm commenting on is that does not bode well for any series
for the future of the show.
when you have to replace lead characters. Like it just
So it looks like they've already recorded his parts for the first season, and he's not going to return for the second season.
Yeah.
So they're
He's already been recast.
ugh.
who did they recast in Game of Thrones? Because who they're recasting matters.
The Witcher actor. I don't know the accent mark. Donald Flynn.
No. I know who they're recasting for Matt Cthulhu and Wheel of Time. Cloistered Scholar in chat says that they recast 2 characters in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and he says they recast Dario in the Mountain.
Okay, so the Mountain, you pretty much almost never see. He's a very ancillary character. The Dario one was bad. That was a bad recast. Like that really made things fucking weird for like an entire season. And if it wasn't for the momentum that show already had, that kind of stuff can really kill a show's potential.
One of the biggest recasts that threw me for a loop was what is her name? The wife of the female politician, Shora something or another. Her husband changed actors from one season to another. But like because I wasn't up on like Twitter news that it had been recast, there was this new dude that was her husband, and I didn't know it was supposed to be her husband. So I spent like 5 episodes trying to figure out who the fuck this dude is.
What show are you talking about?
The Expanse. Sorry, did I not say that?
Yeah, I don't think so. I didn't catch it. They recast
Christian Avasarala, played by
They
Shora,
recast her.
her husband got
yeah.
recast, and I thought he was like some weird political dude for the longest time. I think it's one of the bigger concerns you have is if you recast somebody, but you don't. I mean, you can't mention it in the
it doesn't
show,
make any sense
right?
in the
But like,
show,
how do you fix that? Because I literally didn't know who this guy was supposed to be until
That's
2
why
or
they
3
killed him.
I mean, that's the easiest thing to do. Is
Maybe
like if
that's
you
why.
can, you just eliminate them from the
You
show
write 'em out
instead
of
of
the story.
recasting.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, like Cloister also brings up, and it's the one I thought of first of was Spartacus.
Oh, yeah.
The Showtime show and stuff because they
Andrew
main character got
Whitefield,
brain
Andrew
cancer or
Whitefield.
something, and they had to pull him out. And stuff.
Lymphoma, I believe.
And I don't think I came back to that show with the recast. I was just like, all right, I'm done. It was like 4 seasons with him in it, and then they're like, nope, the main character is somebody different. I'm like,
I think he actually only did the one.
It was
the
just
one
the
season.
first
is it just
season.
well, maybe that was because I've seen more of that.
Because then the other dude did 3 seasons. It's the first season with the original guy, and then
Is that what's weird about it?
Yeah,
It's been
because
a
we
long
all
time.
got really big
Yeah.
in the first season of Spartacus. It was like a pre-Game of Thrones kind of.
But I've
feel.
watched more than just one season of Spartacus, so I guess it didn't affect me as much as I thought it did. Because I feel like I got far enough in that show to where they had almost all left the brouhaha.
Yeah.
I forget what they call
Andy
them. The ludus. The
Whitfield.
ludus. Thank you.
That's Andy Whitfield was the guy, I think.
yes, that is him. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, correct.
Now, I mean, the person in The Expanse, that's a pretty like insignificant minor character to replace Avasarla's husband. Like
He wasn't important. It
Yeah.
just threw me for a loop because
Yeah.
they had such a kind of dialogue of we've been married for 50 years, so everything's so
Right.
casual.
So, like, who's this guy?
I thought he was like her butler at first, and it's like she's in a new place. She's got like a new spokesperson, but
I guess, I mean, at the end of the day, I bring it up mostly because it's like it's just an unfortunate thing that can happen. Because like
Yeah,
it's nobody's
there's-
fault
yeah.
really,
Yeah.
unless
you
this
gonna
guy's
do?
obviously a scumbag, in which case it's his fault that he's getting recast because he's a scumbag. But they haven't told us why he's getting recast. But otherwise, it's just like, man, that sucks. You're trying to make a show, and then one of your leads,
yeah,
like,
no, that's
has to duck
it's
out.
not great. It's not great, but
is that a lead character?
yeah, he's one of
Yeah.
the big 3.
Yeah, I remember that much at least from the book series that
That's
he's
concerning.
Yep. I mean, maybe they'll find somebody that looks very much like him, because that will work. I mean, if you get
Sure.
a guy that like I could barely tell the difference between the two of them,
That
that
doesn't
really-
bode well for your main character. if kind
I
of-
don't think they
yeah.
did. There's some differences. I looked. I saw that this morning.
oh right, we know who they
Yeah.
are, so you could compare them. That makes sense. And so Donald from The Witcher, is that the minstrel, the
Dandelion?
dandelion?
I don't know.
Somebody Google who Donald.
Maybe that would be. I could see that because
Flan.
he's Matt Kuthon as a character is like mischievous and a gambler. A bit of
see a
a.
picture of a flan.
That's,
I heard Donald Flan, so I googled The Witcher. Donald Flan.
oh man,
I don't know what I'm.
Flan.
You
and-
literally got pictures of Flan.
Flan in a
Yeah,
Witcher
I don't
know.
costume.
What am
You
I
just
supposed to
looked
be
at-
looking up?
The guy they replaced Matt Cthulhu with. He's from The
Okay.
Witcher.
Imagine your last name is Cthulhu. Everybody coming up to you like pata pata.
Everybody.
Cthulhu-Fatagan.
Once again, Nick
The-
bubbled
yeah.
the like 100,000 people that are aware of any Cthulhu mythos.
6 nerds in your entire lifetime come up to you and
There's
they're like,
at
dude.
least 18 of us. Okay.
Yeah, but most of them are like, oh, that's a person. No, I can't talk to him.
Yeah. Talk to strangers in public. The hell's
Okay.
wrong with you?
Well, when I try to Google this guy, I get actual Cthulhu references.
Oh my
So I'm just saying, maybe 21 of us. Like,
I will
Yeah.
type this in.
You failed at the internet.
okay, so one of your actors in your favorite TV show has to get swapped out
It's
for
Finn.
some
It's
reason.
Finn. It's Donal.
What is
Finn.
your best
It's
case
Dandelion.
scenario?
It is Dandelion.
Right? No, wait. Fuck. Now I don't know. I
Naughty
thought it
says
was-
Donald Finn.
It's Donal. Who is that?
Who are you?
Who are you?
I will figure it out. This is my job. You guys continue. So you're watching a TV show, you love it, and one of your characters has to get replaced. What is your best case scenario?
Like who they get replaced with, or what are you asking?
Like, is the character written out? They get replaced and never mentioned? Do they slowly phase them out with old footage?
Like, what do you do?
Like, if you had a perfect scenario in your mind of like, this is the best way this could have gone, what would it be?
Kill him.
I would suppose like phase them out, make them a less important character. Unfortunately, if you're gonna hold to any sort of following of the storyline of the books, you
can't do
cannot phase him out.
Yeah.
He
You have to
cannot be
rewrite
yeah.
too much of it.
The-
Plus, you're not going to stay true to the source material at all.
Yeah, no, it would
Yeah.
be you would just have to break from the source material, and that would be it.
But is that the ideal scenario that you break from the source material?
No. In this case, I feel like the ideal scenario is to just, I guess, do what they're doing, recast and hope for the best.
I mean, ideally, they just get recast with a better actor.
Or at least as good of, I mean, hopefully better. I mean, I don't know what this guy's acting skills are. Because the cast seems pretty...
He's not Dandelion, by the way.
The cast of the Wheel of Time series seems pretty young, pretty not famous or breakout. I haven't broken out yet. Haven't broken through. Only one person I readily recognized from on the show.
I mean, the same could be said about Game of Thrones.
Oh no, I recognize.
Wow. There were some definitely. I mean, Boromir was in it, but I'm just saying.
Is in it.
Yeah,
Peter Dinklage, sure,
yeah.
But they all had careers. But I mean, Game of
like
Thrones
50
elevated
King Robert's in the full Monty, bro.
Sure.
Come on now. I mean, there's plenty of people I recognize.
But I mean, plenty of those people are going to be remembered almost exclusively for their roles in Game of Thrones at this point.
Sure.
It was a huge property, you know.
All right, so another Amazon show, and thinking of recasts, you know who I would really like to see, like if I could pick somebody to be recast in Game of Thrones, would be Jaime Lannister, and it would be the dude who plays Homelander. I think he would fucking nail Jaime Lannister.
Yeah. I mean, I think he'd do a really good Jaime Lannister, right? But I also really like Jaime Lannister.
The thing about Jaime Lannister is the transition was pulled off by that actor, which is that you love to hate him until you just love him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Homelander could ever. That guy is not going to get.
That guy's just really hateable.
I think because I've watched some behind the scenes kind of stuff, and the actor just seems like a really nice guy.
100%.
Really nice guy. And like, he's like, he's like, I'll be like riding on the bus and then someone, or like on the subway, and he's like, and someone will look at me, and then they'll really look at me and they'll be like, you're fucking Homelander. And he's like, no, I just acting, and it's like, he seems so nice. So he's
also Australian?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, which threw me off.
Or New Zealand, perhaps?
Should have been played by Luke Wilson.
Oh, God. No.
I stand by that. Luke Wilson could have made an awesome Jaime
Are you
Lannister.
being serious or not?
I weirdly enough, I'm being serious.
No.
I think he could do it.
No.
What role makes you feel that way? That he's played before?
Because I could see him being somebody that you don't like.
Who?
Yeah.
Even though in most of the times you end
So
up
Luke
liking
Wilson?
him.
Have you ever taken Luke Wilson seriously?
Yes.
When? What movie?
Idiocracy. He was the smartest man in the world.
I mean, Darjeeling Limited, Skeleton Twins.
No, yeah, absolutely.
But his character was a serious to you. Like I cannot see him having the nobleman's pompous panache that is serious that Jaime has in the first handful of seasons. It's Luke Wilson. I mean, he's an amazing actor, but like for me at least, I've mentally character typed him into like bizarre gonzo indie film status. Like the idea of him.
That's Owen Wilson.
That's Owen Wilson.
I know. I'm just he wanted to speak in on his brother's defense. Fuck you guys.
I think that I would give him a screen test. So
I mean, Nick Cage was almost Superman. I've seen that fucking screening. I believe anything after that.
I want to travel to an alternate dimension, and I want to see Tim Burton's Superman with Nicolas Cage.
Oh my God, what a fucking nightmare that would be. It would be, I mean, it might be a delightful fucking nightmare, but oh my God.
Well, delightful fucking nightmare describes every Tim Burton film, so,
I mean,
we have to...
Yeah.
You got to give those films some credit. That was the Michael Keaton one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And had Catwoman in it?
The second one.
Yeah, the Batmans.
Yeah.
Okay. Some of those scenes, those actors really fucking pull off. I recently YouTube algorithmed the Catwoman Batman dance scene when they're at the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking amazing scene. Like if you didn't know that was from a Tim Burton movie, you're like, that was really,
those movies were great.
Chemistry was amazing
I like the
between
Tim Burton
the actors.
movies.
I don't think people will commonly disagree with the statement that the Tim Burton Batmans are good.
They're beloved.
Not even beloved implies like a cult following. They're good.
Yeah. I don't mean any implication there at all.
Okay.
Just that they are good movies.
I took that whole error wrong then.
Lando is single face.
I think when you get into the Jim Carrey,
It's not two face yet.
uh,
Well, that's
George
those are
Clooney
Schumacher.
series. I know. Well, they're not. So I think when you get into those Batmans, we start getting into the territory of where like some people like them, some don't, but it's commonly agreed that they're not great. Right?
When you compare them to the Tim Burton movies, I don't think they're good.
Well, you can compare them to all the Batmans now, right?
Well, yeah, 100%. Yeah,
they're not as good as Christian Bale's.
Yeah. For sure.
I cannot wait for Patterson's. I think that's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah,
I think that's going to change the Bat game.
The Nicolas Cage Superman movie done by Tim Burton just would have been epic, just because Superman's fucking stupid. It's
True.
I fucking hate Superman.
I agree.
I would love to see whatever weirdness that Tim Burton can bring to that fucking Boy Scout of a story. So
I was against it at first. You changed my mind. Fucking Superman sucks, so give him a different treatment.
yeah. Now I'm really scared that it is like Nicolas Cage is good because he's weird and you would never picture him as Superman.
Right.
But he is a catch-22 that like he might just be god awful trying to be like because he's not a phenomenal actor all the time. Like sometimes he's just really great. Other times he's just an unhinged guy who yells a lot. So you gotta. It's a risk.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Nick Cage movie?
Matchstick Men
Raising Arizona.
Ooh, Matchstick Men is
Raising
really
Arizona.
good.
or
is
Con
really
Air
good.
is my other one.
I was
love
like,
Con
I
Air.
like Con Air.
I love Con Air, but not
Con Air.
because of the fact that Nick Cage is in it.
Sure.
Con Air was just Con Air.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
he kind of makes it epic because he's like the skinny white
yeah,
superhero.
he definitely brings to
yeah,
it. But I think of like what was the newsman, the one where
The
he,
Weatherman?
the weatherman.
I do
that
not
one,
like Weatherman.
It was bizarre and weird. I kind of liked it for a
I don't
reason I
remember that
can't
movie.
put my finger on. He was
Bringing
just,
Out the Dead. He won an Oscar for that one. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Was it Leaving Las Vegas? I think that's one of his. It's a good one where he plays one of the he's an Elvis impersonator.
he was the one where he's punching ladies in the face. The Wicker Man.
The Bees.
That does not count. That is not on the list of good.
the bees are in my eyes.
Yeah, I think that's Wicker Man, isn't it?
It's Wicker Man.
Any
yeah.
time that he has tried to play like an actual dark superhero, I think has failed. So you
Face Off.
Ghost
Remember
Rider.
that?
have Face Off.
yeah.
Face Off
Face
isn't
Off.
Nicolas Cage. It's John Travolta
Yeah.
And
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Is it really?
I just had to look it up because I
what's-
couldn't remember.
What's the one that has Ethan Hawke in it?
Oh,
That's from that same time frame.
Off
I'm
Face.
thinking of.
With Denzel.
I
Well, that
thought
was
it,
Training
Day.
Day.
no, I thought it was opposite Travolta, like an Ethan Hawke Travolta movie.
Oh, Lord of War. Excellent point. That's
Lord of War is
probably
good, yeah.
my favorite Nick Cage movie, actually, now that it's been brought up again and I remember it exists. That
It's-
one's really good.
So the weird thing about Lord of War is it's one of my favorite Nicolas Cage movies. It's not one of my favorite Nicolas Cage performances.
yeah, that's a good way of putting it. That movie was really good,
Yeah.
but it still would have been good had Nicolas Cage been a different actor.
Or
Sure.
not
You
in
know?
it, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
Whereas I really feel like his acting from like in Matchstick Men is probably I think one of the best times
Yeah.
I've seen him act. So.
I have to agree. I think Matchstick Men would probably be my favorite.
Am I making up an Ethan Hawke?
It was Lord of War, as far as I can tell, through a very cursory.
That's not what I'm looking up.
That's not what you're looking
No,
up.
I was trying to figure out what the Ethan Hawke John Travolta movie was that wasn't Face Off.
Ethan Hawke, John Travolta, not
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke, Nicolas Cage. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. In a Valley of Violence,
That is not it. I think I made it.
That-
starring John Travolta and Ethan Hawke.
That does not
in main
sound
roles, 2014.
I've never seen that.
Gonna take you down to the Valley of Violence.
Travolta in a Western.
That's where the noise floor is.
What is that? It's a movie Broken Arrow. Who is in Broken Arrow?
That's Christian Slater.
And
Okay, Travolta. Broken Arrow
Yeah.
is the movie I was thinking of.
Okay.
That is
Slater.
Christian Slater.
see,
not
kids,
Ethan
when you
Hawke.
get to be old, your memories just kind of all fuse together, and you have to follow this rabbit hole of what was that thing related
I-
to the other thing.
I think it's really acceptable to confuse all the pretty young-faced white actors from that era
I'll
with
give
one
you
another.
that.
So Christian
Give you
Slater,
that.
Ethan Hawke, those types.
yeah.
Yep.
There's more, but I can't remember them because they all just merged together in my head as generic secondary to actors who went on or were already
Yeah.
tier one.
Joshua
and they were made
90s
tier
man.
two.
Yeah.
Joshua 90s Man.
The fourth Josh.
Yes.
We talked about how Russ knows exactly 3 Joshes. One of them is variable in quality, but if there was a fourth Josh, the whole thing would just come tumbling down.
Yeah.
Like a house of cards.
Like, and
Like there's a limit to how many Joshes you can know before they start just becoming awful people.
are all the Joshes me?
No, he knows more than one Josh.
I know 3
Am I
Joshes.
every Josh?
It's not just you.
You're the one of variable quality.
So we got a question here. Let's field it. This is part
Okay.
of being you get to be special right now. So somebody read that question because there's a
All
bar right in my mind.
So she's asking to know on behalf of her boyfriend what our favorite movies are with a comedian in it that is not in a comedic role, such as Robin Williams in 1 Hour Photo, which is a really good example.
Yeah, that's
That's a good take.
Yeah.
That's a good take.
Off the top of my head, I want to name every Robin Williams.
Yeah, I know.
movie
That's
that is-
I go to
he's
Robin
not-
Williams.
Not a comedian in.
Oh,
Jim Carrey's 23.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Eternal Sunshine of the
Yeah,
Spotless
there.
Mind
Yeah.
is arguably a better movie in my opinion. I like it way more. But
I mean, 23 is creepier or spook like is.
it was just very.
Does anything by
Unusual
Bill
scene.
Murray count? Like when he not?
Bill Murray's
Or
a comedian
yeah,
for
he's,
sure.
yeah. He
No,
counts.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm like his movies are so ethereal. Like
Yeah, a comedian
Yeah.
in a non-comedic role.
Yeah,
That
you're
fits.
talking about what the fuck is that movie?
anything
Well,
he's ever
okay,
been in.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm cheating. I'm looking up because my memory's terrible. Good Will Hunting was.
yeah.
I didn't understand it when I first watched it because I was young, but after having rewatched it, I really enjoyed it.
Was just like do they get like I can't? I'm even having trouble thinking of someone other than like Robin Williams or
just
Jim
people known as
Carrey.
being
yeah,
Yeah, me too.
Comedians.
Will
or-
Ferrell did Stranger Than Fiction.
Now, I
Zach
actually-
Galifianakis did a weird indie film where his head exploded, if I remember.
Stranger Than Fiction is actually a really good movie where he has the voice of the author. He's the character. He's the character, and
Yeah. It missed for me. I don't think I was in the right frame of mind when I watched it because it felt so like indie that it was just this kind of weird background influence. But yeah, I'll have to look into that. Is Seth Rogen and Steve Jobs? Do you guys remember that movie? Steve
Seth-
Jobs?
I didn't watch that one.
I didn't watch Steve Jobs. No.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't watch either of the
I
Steve
don't care for that
Jobs
level of
movies.
showmanship.
I don't think Adam Sandler has really been in any standout roles for me.
Uncut Gems.
I mean, they're good, but they're.
They're Adam Sandler movies.
I mean, I would never name them as my favorite
Sure.
on any list.
Yeah.
By any.
I haven't watched Uncut Gems. I've just heard good things.
I enjoyed it, but I had just gotten my gallbladder taken out, and I was on a lot of drugs. So take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
I'm going through a list of actor comedians right now to see if
Little Miss Sunshine I enjoyed. I don't know if it was my best. Yeah, with
Yeah.
Steve Carell.
That was good.
Yeah, Lost in Translation felt so lowbrow and highbrow at the same time. I remember watching it being like, this is
Midbrow.
going to be...
I remember
Well-
being bored as fuck from that movie.
It was boring, but then you're like, what did they say at the end? What did he whisper to her?
What do you guys think about Michael Cera's character in Juno?
I think he was fine.
I think it's
Is
still a comedy.
it's still
it's just
Yeah.
a super lighthearted
That's
Dramedy.
like-
coming of age slice of life thing.
He's always playing
Michael Cera.
Michael Cera,
Yeah.
Fair enough.
who is a comedic relief character. So I
Yeah.
don't think you can
Yeah,
count
okay.
that.
Yeah, no, it's all right. That's roots. That's
And also,
stretching.
is he a comedian?
he's
He's a comedic actor.
Yeah.
yeah.
Which are we going to go specifically somebody that like does stand-up comedy, also acts and has been in a non-comedic acting role? Because that's a much narrower list.
That is a narrow list. But
I know.
I want
was
it to
trying
be Eddie
think.
Murphy, but I can't think of anything.
I'm
I just
looking that
like
up right
Eddie
now.
Murphy.
Is like what black stand-up comedians don't know that have done serious movies. Apparently, he was in Dreamgirls, which was a Broadway musical. I didn't watch that.
Eddie Murphy's best in all of his comedic roles.
Yeah,
And
it's
he's
true.
That's
Beverly
Yeah.
Hills
Yeah.
Cop, come on.
mm-hmm.
Was Richard Pryor in anything serious?
I
I
don't
can't
know.
imagine
I can't-
him being
I don't know.
serious.
Jack Black and King Kong is a good one.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's-
I mean, have we narrowed it down to?
You know what? I
think
got
it-
another one for Jack Black.
I think it might be one of our photos.
He was in The Jackal, and he gets his arm blown off holding up a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
It was definitely
Dude,
not funny.
That's so weird because that scene fucking shook me as a kid. Shook me. And for some reason that popped into my head like a few days ago.
I like that movie, but that's also from
so
the
did I.
era when I was a huge fan of
Bruce Willis?
that guy whose name.
Bruce Willis?
Yeah, that guy.
I still like.
I'm
Bruce
not allowed to
Willis.
say his name.
It's illegal.
I made a deal.
I vaguely remember watching
With
The
that
Color
guy.
Purple
With
back
Bruce
in the
Willis?
day. No, with
guy,
Whoopi Goldberg.
You've never talked to Bruce Willis.
We did. And I was banned from speaking his name aloud.
You did not.
You don't know that.
I do know that. I can say
You
that with
suspect
certainty.
that.
Well,
With
yippee ki
confidence.
motherfuckers! Are you ready to take a break?
Is it break time?
It's break time.
Good. I actually have to really.
Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx
Squeeze
has
the
made a
lemon.
lot of great movies.
Jamie Foxx is fucking fantastic. How
Yes.
do we not think of
Jamie Foxx is a fucking national treasure. He's not a comedian, though, is
that?
he?
He absolutely
He
is.
is.
He's a-
And
he
that's the
is.
thing. We just haven't watched his shit. We need to sit down and watch some of his stand up.
Okay, fair enough. Jamie Foxx in Django Unchained is
I
my
knew there was
favorite
somebody
comedian.
else missing
So
there.
good.
in a non-comedic role.
Ray Charles.
I've never seen that movie.
What? You
Yeah,
should. That's good.
haven't either.
I
you
don't
didn't-
I don't watch movies about singers or biopics. That's the.
Okay.
I don't know.
You didn't watch Joaquin Phoenix's on Johnny Cash? Walk the Lion?
Did you watch the
I watched the Dewey Cox story. That was pretty fun. I got pretty.
I watched the
stoned to watch
parody
that.
of that.
cut the audio?
How do you watch the parody without having seen the original? You're going to miss like half the jokes.
He
they're
never
making.
once bought weed. Never once paid for drugs.
I'm
So
leaving the room.
That's
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in you now.
bye, Felicia.
We'll be right back, guys.
Okay, I can breathe now.
Yes.
I can understand not wanting to watch like biopics because they're so focused. Like, I really like this person. I want to know like a fantasized version of their life. But some biopics are just actually good movies, and they're enjoyable to watch sheerly on that alone.
Sure.
I wouldn't put the Ray Charles biography in that category. Is really good, but like it's hard to watch. He had a hard life.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you shouldn't watch it. But
It's just the.
did you watch
opportunity-
the? I'm sorry, interrupting. Lady Stephanie Germanotta, Lady Gaga played She recently did a movie with the country singer dude. I think.
Stars or whatever?
Yeah. Did you watch that? Okay, I figured that would have been right up your alley. So.
That's okay. Yeah, no, I said that poorly, but
It's easy to say things that like make sense in context, but taken broadly, it's like, okay, that's way too specific.
Oh, well, thank you, naughty boyfriend.
Josh really, turns out he really wants downy balls.
Now watch as Russ
Like
disappears.
like tiny, feathery, super soft texture to his balls. I was trying to think of ways that would go wrong, and he countered most of them by saying "fuck you." So
I mean, you can, but
Accurate.
dude,
I don't
you
have to
got
molt.
sweaty. They would
I'm
just.
grown. I'm grown. I'm Russ, and I'm grown. I don't have molten balls.
I'm a grown ass bird.
Gone. No.
All right.
You're gonna have to fucking get like a whole rug
back.
shampooer kind of situation and clean those off. Like
Shampoo feathers? I don't know.
I'm telling you,
I
it's
feel like
it's
the
all
sweat
bad.
buildup would be bad.
The sweat buildup's going to be bad. Also, it's going to raise the temperature. It's going to raise the temperature of those testicles, and it is going to challenge your sexual fertility. And you know that's just not a smart decision, Russ. It's not a smart decision. Hey.
You sticking around for the break?
I mean, yeah, no, I feel like I owe it to the fans because I came in a little late, so I'm gonna.
Okay.
Plus, I get to vape in here. I don't smoke dirty cigarettes like those poo butts.
Church. But of course, you do it directly in your microphone. You're such a cuck.
I mean, a little bit. So I actually have some pretty good game news. I'm not
Yeah.
going to bring up yet because
Yeah.
saving that for the podcast.
Yeah. Maybe you should bring us back.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, bring us back with. So I want to talk some actual gaming news, or some.
Yeah.
We'll need noise floor, but I'll give you a sign.
Okay. Not the first time the Star is Born. Yes, no, that's definitely an older movie. Like I feel like it's really older. We don't have Nick to look it up, but yeah, I knew it was actually a remake. And didn't it have Rocket Raccoon, that fucking dude, the pretty guy from The Hangover?
Paul Rudd.
No, Cooper. The really pretty one. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. Dude, I don't know actors.
It's done with Judy Garland and another with Barbra Streisand. So 2 other times. And Judy Garland, holy shit, then it really is an old movie. I feel like I could watch Paul Rudd in almost anything.
Yeah, me too.
Like, it could just be Paul Rudd.
Bradley Cooper.
Yes, Bradley Cooper. See, I had the Cooper part.
You did.
Yeah. He is just, that man is wildly handsome.
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper, if you're listening, God bless you. You're wildly handsome.
Handsome man. Devilishly good looks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Devilish.
I would like to see him as a devilish type character. That could be fun.
Sure.
Could be fun. Ooh, spooky season's coming up. You going to do anything fun for Halloween? Yeah.
I'll last minute a costume.
Well, yeah.
If we do anything.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, we pretty much did the Kelsey party for the last 4 years. 4 years minus last year.
Yeah, minus last year. I mean, I would be down to go to that too.
Yeah, for sure. It depends on the coronavirus.
That motherfucker.
True.
Just keeps mutating and being a bitch.
Yep. Other than that, I don't have any plans. None. RHPS.
Real Housewives of Palm Springs. Did it.
Red Hot Penis Suckers. Well, I go RHCP, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, no, I know, but
mine
was
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, okay. Is one of you going as Tim Curry's famous character?
I'll dress up in that lingerie. I have no problem with that.
Dr. Frankenfurter. Then there's you can be Meatloaf's character. I can't remember his name. I think it's Brian or something like that.
So I've watched the Rocky Horror Picture Show one time ever, and I didn't care for it. I may have not been in the right mood. Okay, to be fair, it was like a Halloween party, and this was the idea of the Halloween party, and I was like, wow, I'm disappointed that I went to this instead of any other Halloween party of all time. So I got disappointed in the movie, and it put a bad taste in my mouth. I might love it now. I don't know. But, at the time I watched it, meh. I know it's kind of an unpopular opinion, but...
I mean, it's definitely a cult classic.
Sure, yeah.
I've only seen it the one time also. Apparently you had, if you go to a live performance of this thing, that's where that's at.
I've heard.
So you can just you enjoy Tim Curry because
he's Tim Curry.
Doesn't is Tim Curry still alive?
No.
God damn it! I felt like in my heart I knew that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he passed away a year or two ago.
I felt in my heart I knew that. I knew I didn't know I was gonna get. I knew I wasn't bad newsing myself, but it would have been a pleasant surprise.
Maybe he's
to
alive.
learn.
He might be alive.
He's still kicking.
Years active, 1968 to present.
Oh my God, Tim Curry's alive.
Maybe I just read a bad Facebook post. Well, this time it was good news.
It was good news. Last week, don't even want to talk about it, but we know what happened last week.
Yeah.
And now I thought I was bad newsing myself again, but it was good news. Holy crap. Tim Curry's still kicking.
Tim Curry's still kicking. He's 75.
Damn. And there are a lot, like Tim Curry's getting up there. I mean, nobody's up there further than Betty White, though. I mean, Jesus Christ.
How old is she now? 200? 300?
I don't know. I mean, hopefully she'll remember to lock up after humanity's done with the place.
She's 99.
Wow.
Dude, Betty White doesn't look a day over like 78. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
God, what a national treasure.
Absolutely. That's who we should be protecting.
Yes.
You know, like, fucking A. Think of Betty White. Go get vaccinated. Help us protect Betty White.
True facts.
Don't do it for you or for the community. Do it for Betty White.
She was hot when she was young.
Yeah, she was. Sometimes, yeah. Do you ever do that and just like look at it? Yeah. All right. Can we throw one of those up? Can we get some Betty White thirst up on the page? Here it comes, guys.
Young Betty White, man. She's all right.
Boy, I'd park in a car with her anytime, let me tell you.
Wow, dude. Way to bring back like a 1960s, probably like 1950s colloquialism.
Yeah.
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 I have literally only heard of that, or heard that saying from Mad Men.
Or like Back to the Future.
Yes.
When Marty's trying to get with his mom. Or
Yeah.
his mom's trying to get with her son.
Or when Biff is trying to get with his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I rewatched Back to the Future pretty recently too.
So, like, Back to the Future, here's the fucking thing. It's such a good fucking movie that you never once questioned why the fuck Marty's friends with a 90-year-old physicist.
Okay, but I have seen that movie like 100 fucking times.
And I only, like, I never really fucking thought about it until I read a fucking thing the other day. I was like, holy shit, why is he friends with that guy? Where is the fucking connection at?
So what throws me the fuck off is the terrorist thing, because I forget it happens.
Oh my God, right?
Every time I watch that movie, I'm like, I forgot there were terrorists in this movie.
It's
like,
just
what?
like, it's like a one. I was like, oh yeah, I got it from terrorists.
Yeah.
And
And-
they're angry about it.
That's true. Betty White is actually older than sliced bread.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. At any rate, yeah. So I think what's being said is true is Doc probably hired him in, to do odd jobs.
Yeah, but there could have been like even a sentence is like, "Oh, Marty, you've loved fucking with this stereo equipment ever since you started raking leaves as a young boy." Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying they never bring it up. We never question it. 3 movies. I mean, 2.5 that are good.
Yeah. But yeah, I forget that there were terrorists trying to kill Doc Brown in the first. I forget that every time I watch the movie. It's weird.
Yeah,
it's something I just totally blank out.
Well, I mean, it's honestly, it's like
it's probably the weakest plot point in
doesn't
all
matter.
the movies.
It
Right.
does, Like they were like, wait,
yeah,
how did they get the uranium?
I feel like the studio was like, well, they need motivation.
Yeah.
You know,
can we put terrorists in there?
Right.
Like that was even before terrorists were a thing.
Yeah. But I watched I
mean, sure, terrorists were a thing. I mean,
yeah.
A pop like how they were even like. Well, I guess when did Back to the Future come out? Because I'm trying to think like
80.
Like that was like was
6.
Okay, so I guess there was like terror on the airlines already, like with planes and people being abducted.
85.
80, like so that was a precedent. It's like that's kind of maybe the Back to the Future called it, right? Like the stereotypical in your mind.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like I feel like we're treading into dangerous waters there.
Yep.
So
Let's talk about terrorism.
shoe bomber back in the 80s. There was a shoe bomber in the. Where was Bernie Getz, the guy who shot people?
The plane had a bomb in his shoe.
Yeah, it wasn't. That was in the fucking 80s though. There was a guy in the 80s who shot people on the fucking subway though.
People that shoot people on the subway all the time.
Yeah, but this guy was he was like
The subway shooter.
He was like a vigilante.
Yeah. We were just talking about briefly Back to the Future, and I brought up the fact that I forget every single time I watch that movie, no matter how long it's been since I've watched that movie, that There were terrorists in the movie.
Yeah, Chechens, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Were they Chechens?
I think he calls them Chechens, right?
I think he does. I watched it recently enough that sounds.
I mean, I'm pulling deep for that, but
I think
Libyans.
That's. I was thinking more that. Yeah,
I got it. I mean,
we're gonna internet duel.
It's Libyans.
Okay.
Okay.
Is Libya close to Chechnya?
No, Chechnya is like over by Russia, homie.
Everything's by Russia. You fuck. It's the biggest goddamn country.
To be fair, we're right by Russia.
Yeah. We
Alaska,
are.
bitch.
Alaska,
Yeah, okay,
bitch.
fair enough.
Literally, like everything's close to
Yeah,
Russia.
but
You
we're
can see
not by
Russia from
Libya.
Sarah Palin's
South
fucking
America is the one
balcony.
place not next to.
Sarah Palin can see Russia.
Fuck you.
Chechnya is in Russia.
Okay. Even closer to Russia than I thought.
It's as close as you can be without being Russia.
Yeah.
Being inside of Russia. That's my goal.
It's all Russia now. Crimea.
Ukraine. Oh wait, they're still working on that one.
They are still kind of working on Ukraine, yeah.
That is my new life goal. I want to be inside Russia. Dude, my earballs.
My ear fucked you.
You don't fuck with somebody's earballs.
I do.
Not without consent.
Yeah. It's 2021.
Plenty of wiggle room. I was just in there, I know.
Did Josh just say you have loose earballs?
Yes.
Loose earballs. Who has loose earballs?
You
Russ
know
does
who does.
apparently.
My earballs? They're fully connected.
I need to find an efficient way of lighting
That's
my
not my
own
earballs.
ear hair on fire.
Get out to my
Let me see your earballs.
They're sweaty right now.
You know how like there's the Roman nose? You've got the Chechnyan earballs.
That's
His earballs are so well defined.
that's a grave insult to my ancestors.
No,
sir.
it's a compliment.
They don't come from.
I know there's a
It's carved
there's,
straight
there's
from
a
marble.
there's a name for like when one of your ears has the little point on it, which one of mine has a small point. It's like a something carbuncle, like Darwin's carbuncle or some shit.
You're a half-
That's
you're a
an
half-elf.
awesome name.
You got yourself a carbuncle on your
I
ear.
think
Darwin's
mine's
carbuncle.
Like right here.
See, the
Get your
carbuncle,
hands
I know.
off my eye holes.
And then somebody for a while tried to claim that it was some sort of genetic indicator of your like abilities in some field, and then people were like, "You're fucking stupid." And he's like, "Damn it, I am stupid."
Who's
Chat,
Malin
do
Palin?
not Google carbuncle. It's gross.
Oh my god!
I was thinking of
You will be changed.
the semi-quasi mythological carbuncle. This is straight up like MRSA shit.
It looks like goatsy.
Did you Google Darwin's carbuncle?
No, I was just wondering.
term-
Now I
the
don't want to see
Latin-
his carbuncle.
I do. I want to lick.
So
his Darwin's
carbuncle from quasi mythologies in games related to like panaceas. It was a healing thing. It turns out a carbuncle is like a cluster of boils. If that doesn't put an image in your head,
Then I will.
yeah.
So Josh wants to lead us back into the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you remember with what?
Yeah, I have it written down. Thank God.
Doing
In 1984, Charles, Prince of Wales, described the proposed Sainsbury wing extension to the National Gallery in London as a monstrous carbuncle on the face of a much-loved and elegant friend. Fucking brutal.
Owned. Wrecked.
Dude, the British are fucking brutal. Like, it's,
Yeah, they took
dude,
over half
it's-
the fucking world.
It's fucking rough.
They're brutal.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think we talked about that last time, but
Bruh.
100
Bruv.
and like 10 countries share the same holiday,
Mm-hmm.
and it's celebrating their independence from the fucking British.
Yeah.
Like every 4 or 5 days, somebody does that shit.
I do it every 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
Just have a mini Independence Day.
That's what he calls
Yeah, dude.
jacking off.
We could have fucking healthcare. Ugh.
Only
Wait,
we hadn't
what?
thrown the king's bloody tea into the fucking harbor.
Yeah.
Grandma wouldn't have died of cancer.
Yup.
Bit of a stretch.
If I only jacked off once every 4 or 5 days, I would admire my own restraint.
Oh,
I'd be
yeah.
like, damn, I have got willpower.
Yeah.
Dude, if I could not masturbate during this podcast, I'd
We would all
Why
be
do you
thankful.
think it's always from the shoulder, like from mid chest up, guys?
Do we want to get real with it for a minute?
yeah.
Ooh, okay.
The longer the silence goes, the more.
We have been playing Divinity Original Sin 2, and I tried really hard. I had 70 hours in the game when we started playing again this most recent time. I've never left the first island. So already the role is set for me to not be having fun. I hate redoing RPG shit. We play again. I'm really trying hard to follow the story. For various reasons that I won't get into, I was not allowed to do that. We'll leave it at that.
Understood.
It has gotten to the point where when we play it, like, it's fun. Okay. I'm playing the healer, controller, buffer, and I keep them alive. But if I turn away for 2 seconds, half the party's dead because they ran into exploding oil. Josh specifically was the last one to die from running into cursed oil. But we had some downtime where they were trying to figure out what the fuck they were doing. And Adam, my brother, bless his soul, has been following a walkthrough so we can actually do this correctly. And it's like leading around a bunch of kindergarten ducks. And we had like an hour of downtime, and I honestly completely muted myself and minimized the game and checked off.
had to release some stress.
I was so bored. And yeah, you were there, Josh. But I was muted. I did
Party to that sinful activity.
I mean,
just throwing it out there.
Josh, like I was doing it at the same time.
no,
He doesn't
'cause
want to admit it. Right.
I'm playing on a laptop, so that's
It's much more difficult. I've got 2
The
monitors.
best you can do is a finger in the butt. And it's not enough.
Well, now that I've rocked Josh's world, I'd say every 2 to 3 days.
I don't think Justin's not the worst part about that game anymore now, man. Like, what? Ew. Like, was I talking? Like, was I talking?
I don't believe
said he
it's
muted it.
important to necessarily
No,
define
he muted
down.
himself. He didn't specify whether he was muted. He didn't specify whether, like, my dulcet tones were in the background.
Honest
Clarion
question.
call.
Do you think it requires consent if you're getting off to somebody else's voice? Like, does that require
Getting off to their voice? I mean, then you're asking the question, like, do you need consent to jack off to the mental
I
image
feel like
of somebody?
you almost, like, you were this close to having phone sex with me. If I'd said anything sexual, that's phone sex. We had phone sex.
Well, you probably would have ruined it. You're not my jam.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's a little untrue.
No.
But
I'm everybody's. Josh is everybody's partial jam, right?
I just love Justin chiming in. So I got, to be fair, sometimes it gets boring waiting for the next mission, so I got off looting the countryside. Now when I jerk off, I'm going to be looting the countryside from now on, dude. Go away, I'm looting the countryside.
Okay, I'm adding that to the Urban Dictionary. That is going on there.
Oh, fuck, dude.
it's too much honesty. That was too
We're on
much.
the podcast. If you're not honest, people don't care
Oh,
anymore.
my God.
You got to spill your darkest secrets.
Oh, I love
I'm
that so
pleased
much.
that entire conversation happened.
I am. I have mixed feelings.
Now, only the most devoted of our followers are going to know this because it's going to be one of the
Exactly.
earliest YouTube videos, but it's
Until
going
I
to be
get
there.
canceled in 10 years. For
Absolutely.
I got to be careful because, like, if I want to like have this trend of where I'm just muting the game and rubbing one out, I got to remember that there's 4 mics in the living room I have to mute first. Cause
Yeah.
I was arguing
Russ
with Sharon
leaving
the
the
other night and
countryside?
found out that
Oh, yeah. No, like.
Wait, what?
Okay. Well, I mean, Andrew and I, we finished the game, and then we very respectfully went to a different channel.
Yeah, we were playing Rocket League last night, the 3 of us. And we're
2
like
nights
in,
ago. Yeah, man.
oh yeah, and we're in the middle of a match and stuff. And Sharon came home, and we decided we were gonna have an argument. And so, like, as soon as she comes in, she wants to come talk to me about stuff. I mute the microphone that's in front of my face. But literally, every 2 feet going to the right of the room is an additional microphone.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure what happened is that by the time like I had stood up and moved further out away from the computer, more of the conversation was being picked up by the microphones.
Oh.
But like I said, Josh and Andrew ducked into another audio chat room. But I realized that about halfway through the conversation, I was like,
We almost won that game 2v3.
I heard
was
that.
damn close, man. We got within spitting distance.
yeah, I left you guys hanging.
Josh, we have to stop vaping.
Are we on the noise floor?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
the cameras
No,
are getting
yeah,
foggy.
the cameras are getting super fucky.
Okay.
They keep going out of focus.
So I just got a new triple barrel coil.
Russ is out of focus. Oh, it's figuring it out.
I'm here.
Get your hand as close to it as you can, and then slowly get back to your face.
It worked.
It did.
Don't question my techniques.
Yeah, the video quality has been poor the last half hour. Yeah.
That's just Justin's bad internets. He's got second hand-me-down internets.
No, I feel like
Salvation
Justin's
internets.
throwing a little bit of a poke at me.
No,
Saying
honestly, that
so,
probably
yeah.
is the case, though.
No. I was gonna say an ugly joke about myself, but
Okay. You're not allowed. I love
Justin's
you.
saying I'm ugly, and
What I want to know is why your border is blue.
because blue looks best on me. It goes with my eyes.
Technically, that's supposed to be Russ's border, but I just went with kind of the old color theme of the Balcony Time podcast.
To keep opening my beautiful blue eyes.
Mine
and
are
say,
also blue.
Mine are also.
That's because you stole my blood. They didn't used to be. Fucking
Everyone
jerk.
knows that my bottom left corner is the color of vomit.
Yeah,
It's accurate.
or baby shit.
Yeah.
Also accurate.
A little.
Oh boy, I heard a horrible joke. It was really funny though. What does anal and broccoli have in common?
Something racist.
You hate it when you're a kid.
I've heard that. That's good. It's a good one.
I heard another one. It's too much. I'm actually not going to say it.
You are increasing Andy's cholesterol
Yeah.
as you speak.
Yep.
I
Shorty,
said I wasn't going to say it.
Shorty, we gonna get low?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that a question if we're going to hit the noise floor?
Yes, it is.
It's okay. Yeah. All right. You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Lead us in.
Sorry. I was scratching my face and
so
spacing
excited.
off. So Horizon Zero Dawn, older game, came out 2017, I think. I never actually played it.
Awesome game.
Hold on a second. Okay, it literally took me a second to remember what the game that was. That's the
With the
Mecha Dinosaurs.
with the mecha dinosaurs and all that. So Forbidden West is coming out, and of course they're going west. But it looks really neat. But what I thought was the coolest thing about this is it's made by Guerrilla Games, which famously made Killzone. So they have done a massive and apparently successful genre switch from an FPS to a third-person open-world RPG.
Yeah, they pretty much only did Killzone.
Right?
before
They own
this.
right. So like just that really successful transition, and now it's going to be a flagship game for PS5.
Congrats
Honestly,
to them. Yeah.
yeah, PS5 is really PlayStation exclusives are really making it hard to want to buy an Xbox.
Yeah, I had it on my list last week. Just about like more PlayStation 5 or PlayStation exclusives, and like I put too many to list.
Yeah.
Just getting angrier.
Yep.
But it got me thinking: Are there a lot of other game producers, or perhaps even games that have made like a big genre switch and found, are arguably more success, or at least an equal level of success?
I have no idea off the top of my head.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I
sit there and
looked
think
into
for
a little
second.
bit, and I couldn't find a crazy amount of examples. I was thinking something like, didn't Warcraft used to be a bit more like StarCraft, or am I just pulling shit on my ass
mean,
here?
yeah,
And then
good
it evolves
example.
into
Blizzard
Massive, right?
Blizzard had 3 titles they were known for: Warcraft, StarCraft, and Diablo. Warcraft and StarCraft were basically the same. They're RTSs, right?
Yeah,
Diablo
right.
was one of the first action RPGs. But after that, they released World of Warcraft, and then there was, that was it.
That was it, right?
I was thinking Double Fine is made up of a lot of people from the old LucasArts studios who were known for their point-and-click adventures. And they transitioned, some could arguably, really well over into 3D puzzle platformers like Psychonauts. I don't know if it's a huge genre shift to go from Secret of Monkey Island and all that stuff, heavy metal? No, Full Throttle. I don't know if you guys played those old LucasArts games, but you can definitely see the influence there. What else is there off the top of my head?
There's the company that was behind Halo went and made Destiny. That was a pretty bold choice for them. They really thought out of the box on that one.
Was it called Trampoline? Was that the name of the company?
Yeah.
Parasail Cord?
Pogo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Moon Shoes.
Punji Pit. That's what it was.
Sticky Punji Pit. That's right.
Yeah.
But Forbidden West, being of course a new game, it does have some new features. What any sequel wants and needs, grappling hook, of course. So there's going to be less of that linear climbing feel, apparently, which was restrictive in the first game. There's a lot of complaints about that. But just watching it really makes me want to go back and play it. I really want to get, and it's free on PlayStation now. They keep just like, hey, all these exclusive games, also they're going to be free here.
Can you really call it go back and play it?
Yeah, I guess it's old. Yeah, no, I guess from my point of view, it is like I haven't played it yet, so I guess it's going to be a new experience for me. But it is an older game. It's from 2017. It might as well be in a museum at this point, right?
Jesus, 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch the gameplay footage of the new?
I did.
Going
It
West?
looks looks amazing, and also robot crocodiles are the most terrifying thing I think I've ever seen in my life.
I think the succinctest way I could put Horizon Zero Dawn is it's like Assassin's Creed if Assassin's Creed was pretty good and not shit. Right. Like it's very much a similar game to the newer Assassin's Creed, but it doesn't suck. I'm not saying it's the best game in the world. One nice thing they really did, and it's not often this happens, is the storyline pivots really well, and your exploration and discovery of what actually happened to this world, that there's barbarians fighting dinosaur robots, was really well done in my opinion. I really, really enjoyed it, and despite kind of losing interest in the gameplay itself about 2/3 of the way through, I finished it just to figure out what was going on in the storyline. And yeah, what a theme. Robot dinosaurs done in a non-campy way. It was pretty darn good. I really enjoyed that game. So
the good news on that front is it seems like you're going to finally be able to start picking up Xboxes and PlayStation 5s more readily available at actually in-person stores instead of just trying to get lucky online.
Turns out they're actually making them now.
It's crazy.
Yeah, well, they just had an article coming out with talking about how some other big box stores, but Best Buy specifically, is supposed to have I think it actually starts like tomorrow is the date when they're saying that they're going to have in-store consoles to sell.
Okay.
That's actually on my list of stuff to bring up. And then, on that same note, they showed a special edition Diablo Xbox that, it looks pretty fucking cool, but also very demonic. Extremely demonic. Like, it's got like a big demon coming out of the front of it. It's got some sort of pentagram
the
stuff
console
on it.
itself.
Yeah, the console itself. And I'm like, man, how better to affirm every waspy Christian mom's fears of video games being the devil and stuff, to have a little demon box. Yeah.
Awesome.
What in the name of Jesus?
If Saint was hanging a little brain out of the front of it,
Well, he doesn't hang a little brain.
A lot of brains.
He erects a massive statement is what he does.
But another thing about Forbidden West is it's coming out on both the PS4 and the PS5.
A lot of the games aren't doing that.
Is that just so Is that just so people have the opportunity to play it?
Money.
Is it purely based on greed? Because are there pros other than not having to buy a new system and play the game you want to play? Are there pros other than that?
One, the power behind the PlayStation 4 is still robust.
Yeah.
Like it's a robust machine.
okay. Yeah.
And so like our game development companies haven't pushed the limits of games where they are clamoring to get a new piece of hardware because this old one is antiquated as it normally be in a life cycle console. Because I mean, you think about how much computers have jumped up in previous console version iterations, say like the Xbox 360, and the consoles were always substantially behind the curve on what the PCs can do. The PlayStation 4 and even the Xbox One were like the first dipping your toe into being comparable to a decent gaming rig.
Yeah.
And now the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 are very much in the realm of like a mid-level gaming PC. So, but what you also have to deal with, which is the second issue, is that adoption of the brand new two consoles has been substantially lower due to the fact that it's hard for people to get their hands on them.
Yeah.
And so it just makes sense on a take care of your consumer basis and as well as a take care of our pocketbook basis to release them on both consoles. I think you might see this more and more often too, just because as gaming consoles get more ubiquitous with PCs themselves, it's substantially easier just to make them like a downgraded version, performance-wise, to play on other consoles or older generations of systems.
Because that's essentially what you're sacking, right? Is you're sacking performance quality, how good it's going to look, and load time.
Yeah, load time, all stuff like that is going to be, But that's I think the longest running problem that we've had a lot in the game console PC cross-platform stuff is always the difficulty in coding for the different systems. And so frequently, both PlayStation and Xbox have continually had like proprietary operating systems that they're running on the consoles. That is, and for Microsoft, they're literally in the computer operating system space they design in, and even their game consoles were different for the longest time than what their PCs would run. But we're getting closer and closer to these things just being, comparable to one another, that'll just get easier and easier to port games. Hopefully it gets easier. Like you're seeing it now, we're seeing a lot more cross-platform play and a lot of games. Which is something we've literally been wanting since we had home online console
since
play.
the first time that someone bought a different console. We're like, wait, you don't have an Xbox?
Oh, we can't play together? Why?
That rich kid with the Sega. You're like, what? My Super Nintendo's not good enough for you?
I imagine it had to be tied in with having online play, but
I'm old.
And
I don't ever remember linking up our Super Nintendos together to play some quad plock.
I jumped on Overwatch and I was doing some cross-platform play. And one of the guys said, "Oh, we can do ranked now on cross-platform." And I was like, "I don't think that's a thing, because we're on a console, we're going to get murked." Is cross-platform and like in a ranked? I mean, I'm playing Splitgate ranked, and it's cross-platform.
The biggest thing that controller players have going for them is aim assist.
Okay,
you don't have that on mouse and keyboard, or if you do, it's janky and most people don't use it. So it's a completely like parallel different thing, but it kind of helps make the field a bit more balanced.
Okay, so is there I have an advantage for aim assist that they don't have.
Yes.
Your disadvantage for using a controller is counteracted by your aim assist.
Some of the best Call of Duty Warzone players in the world are now using controller.
Yeah, they're also on amphetamines.
Well,
and 17.
Fair. Yes, absolutely. But we are seeing, I wouldn't say that the gap is necessarily closing, but there are use cases in which case a controller sometimes lends itself better, even inside competitive play in first-person shooters.
Honestly, ranked is where you want to be playing. If you're going to be playing cross-platform with PCs, then you want to do the get ranked, go through the placement matches and stuff in your game. So that way that even if you're playing with technologically advanced PC players, they're going to get ranked above you and out of your play range. Because really at the end of the day, I play ranked in pretty much any game type that I could possibly play, because I feel like, one, everyone here is trying to take it as seriously as they can.
Right.
And it's always going to be trying to place people that are within a plus minus of my skill range. So sometimes they'll be like slightly more difficult enemies that are on the upper range of my playability, and then other times they're slightly below. But as long as I am playing my best, it's always going to keep me roughly at a rank to where I deserve to be.
Yeah, a rank in which you're competitive.
Yeah. Which is really unfortunate when you get a lot of games that like have a really bad ranking system in place. And like, honestly, I can complain about Apex because I don't feel like they've gotten a good grasp of how their MMR systems and stuff should work. And I also get it's a weird catch-22 that you run into with a lot of game developers, is that they're always reluctant, if they ever do, even fully explain in detail how their ranked matchmaking systems work. Because the way the internet works, it means people will find ways to try to game that system as much as they can. So it can be kind of a frustrating back and forth. But all in all, I enjoy my Apex matchmaking. I've been playing for, how many seasons are there now? 11 seasons, almost 2 years.
So that's ranked and cross-platform.
I don't play cross-platform on Apex. No.
Oh, okay.
No, that's just because I don't have anybody that I need to play with on PC.
But do they offer
competitive? I don't know. I don't know because
right now Overwatch does not.
Oh, you guys found out that it does?
Yeah, no, it absolutely doesn't. You can only play like.
Well, here's an example. Rocket League does.
Yeah,
we're doing that because Andrew's on PC.
And there's some. I think you got to be some sort of finger ninja. You have to have been just like maybe have a third thumb in there somehow to be playing keyboard and mouse on Rocket League.
Almost nobody does. Yeah. I don't think that's very common.
It's not a game that lends itself.
No, it doesn't seem like it would.
Keyboard.
It doesn't, but apparently there's people who do it.
There are probably, but I think even most.
It's
been a long time since I've even gotten into watching any of the competitive high level Rocket play gameplay, because most of the time it's depressing about how terrible I am.
Yeah,
it makes you feel bad. It makes you feel bad when you find out what a flip reset is, and you're like, "That's a fucking thing."
Oh, it's even worse when you spend like 3 days in the training room practicing flip resets, and you can never quite get it right.
No,
you're just like, I guess I've reached my skill cap.
You're absolutely not going to get it right playing against someone else. That's just never going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
Like I told you, dude, my biggest defender, my worst defender, is a fucking open net.
It's that open net.
An open net, unguarded, just open. There it is, Josh. Knock it in.
Goalpost close in on him. Teeth come down.
Performance anxiety.
But I think most of the pros in a Rocket League are on controller.
Okay. I mean that makes sense.
I recently was playing Apex on the PC over playing on that Gen 1 potato Xbox. And it was remarkable how much prettier, more crisp and clear everything looked.
Yeah.
I could see, like, I was watching a gunfight in the distance that I'm pretty sure on the Xbox, the game wouldn't even have rendered. I couldn't even see that there was people fighting over there. And I'm also pretty sure because it's a new account, it's like putting me in the fucking bot lobbies.
Right.
Which is
delightful.
Helpful.
That would be one of the technological advantages you're talking about. The computer is actually able to render a fight that you otherwise would not even be able to see if you were playing a game, like playing on the potato.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a disadvantage I have on anybody that's also on Xbox, but just maybe they have a newer Xbox One, the Xbox S, or the Xbox Series X. Yeah. One of the guys that I play with, Northwest Gearhead, he plays on a Sexbox now, and he told me straight up that like it's a noticeable difference. You know, and
one thing you have to consider that I don't know if you can do on the consoles is you can get advantage via reverse graphics. For example, there's some shooters I know where players routinely will turn off the foliage.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
so other players cannot hide in the grass because you go in the graphics settings, so you just turn the grass off so it doesn't render.
It's literally he runs into that problem. Gearhead, the same guy, when he plays Rust on the Xbox.
I think that was one of the first games I remember hearing about it.
Yeah.
When I play DayZ in a large server, like a day one server, I turn my graphics settings down to the minimum except for view distance.
Is that cheating? Like it feels like cheating.
Not if everybody else is doing it.
Okay. Is everybody doing that? Is that
yeah. Okay. Watch your big streamers and stuff, and they're all doing it.
I feel like Like we were talking about earlier, bringing knowledge about things. I don't bring a lot of knowledge, but I bring a lot of passion.
Well, I mean,
and a lot of questions.
We could discuss the aspect of whether or not that's cheating or not, because I would say that's a form of cheating, because you're exploiting a game mechanic to give yourself an advantage over other players.
Yeah. Having an unfair advantage that was not in the design of the game, I think is how you could define cheating in one way.
But here's the other thing. So we'll say we're talking about PC specifically here, where you can change your graphic settings. There are some people that are playing on computers that they get reasonable frames per second, that kind of thing, that cannot run at max settings.
Right.
So should I play at a disadvantage just because I can run at max settings?
No, I think the solution would have to be something along the lines of sorting lobbies by graphical settings. It would have to be that's the only way you could do it. I mean, it's not a fair way, and what you're going to have is really tiny.
Don't let them turn foliage off. Like, that seems like a much easier solution to me.
Well, then what if they couldn't run the game then, because it can't render?
Then you make the foliage look like shit, but it's still there, right? Because the people who have low quality computers who are getting that weird advantage through a fluke of them not having a computer, they're not cheating on purpose, right? So, like, rendering foliage even as just a flat texture in the same vein that like a normal foliage texture would help hide a player. I'm sure there'd be an easier solution than trying to complete a whole ranking system based off that kind of weird exploit.
No, let's build on this a little bit, dive in a little deeper here. So let's assume that
let's get into the weeds.
Yes, let's get into the weeds.
Let's get into the foliage.
Snake in the grass.
So if the computer's poor enough that it's just not able to render the foliage.
I like foliage.
Granting you said advantage. Is any advantage that is gained by that overruled by your computer being that shitty? Like,
I don't think that it's your fault that you're cheating, but it's still technically.
But like, okay, so let's say my computer is crappy enough that it cannot render the grass or the foliage. Therefore, I have said advantage.
Okay,
your computer is better. It's able to render that advantage. Or not like able to render the grass. Is your computer doing that much better that my advantage no longer matters because everything's better, like the frame rate, everything like that? So
your question you'd be asking would be, do I make up for that disadvantage with other technological advantages?
Yes.
I think that sometimes that could be true. It'd be definitely depend on a game to where if something like hiding in foliage and being able to pick those people out is extremely pertinent to the gameplay, which something like a shooter is.
So in the instance that I bring up, no. Having a better performing PC doesn't give me an advantage in this case. Like in a firefight, sure, I suppose so. I have, higher FPS. My reaction time can be faster. But, and I also have a monitor that gives me an awesome refresh rate. Like I have kind of peak performance in this game, right? But they're the only one with the advantage in this scenario in which we're both trying to snipe each other behind foliage.
Seeing a motherfucker first is still seeing a motherfucker first.
Precisely.
Okay. Fair enough. That's some weeds, guys.
Personally, I have Googled worst Skyrim graphics. Here's an image I pulled up, Josh. Yeah. If you're willing to make your game look like this to have a very minor advantage in a competitive shooter, you do you, right? Like, to me, I wouldn't go to these lengths, but some people will. And if that's what allows them to loot the countryside.
That looks like the man who shows up in my dreams and tells me he knows he's in my dreams. And then I wake up.
Yeah.
You've given him form.
I'm sorry.
I would definitely want, in an ideal situation, I think you'd have your system have a optimization to where it knows what your computer can handle and doesn't let you artificially lower it. That would cause some sort of advantage, in which case you're just minimizing the amount of people that do have the advantage because they're on weaker hardware, right? In which case it's probably a pretty small, insignificant amount of people. You just suck it up and deal with it. But sometimes someone's going to see you hiding in a bush.
Yeah.
But you can't do that either, because anytime if you made a game where the computer ran like an optimization scanner and then you couldn't adjust your settings down, people lose their goddamn mind over that. So I don't know what you could really do that would solve that issue.
Okay.
It's just at the end of the day, just like some people suck. Either they suck because their machines suck and they can't afford it, or they suck because they're actively trying to game a system.
Yeah, I definitely try to game the system in DayZ. In that, I just know that everybody else is running the same settings, so I drop mine all the way the fuck down when I'm
I've
playing
played
competitively.
DayZ. I don't know how you would be able to tell a difference from high settings and low settings. The game looks like
The brown is browner.
Well, you played it on the Xbox.
I have played it on both,
Oh,
and the game is still butt. It is a butt game.
it's a fucking nice butt.
Sometimes
I
butts
like
are fun
butts.
to play with.
Fucking A.
They still look like butts.
True.
Speaking of tech and gaming, another super interesting news. Player unknown, as his moniker goes. I don't remember his actual name. It's like
Everybody knows him as Player Unknown anyways.
Joshua Johnson. He is leaving his publisher, Krafton, to make a new company backed by Krafton to develop something interesting. The first stage, let me pull up my notes here, is called Prologue. It's essentially going to be a tech demo that will be single player, pay what you want. But the goal is for them to be testing a new engine they're developing with the hopes of having a 64 square kilometer map. So for all of you people out there who get hard over the idea of large maps, that is compared to the 8 square kilometer of the original Player Unknown Battlegrounds PUBG's original map.
Can you give me another game's reference for map size?
You want to pull up like
Yeah,
San
we're
Andreas?
American. We don't know. You said kilometers. We don't know what the fuck that means. Can you put that to us in
Something
washing machines?
roughly 50 times the size of Apex map. I'm just going to throw that number out there because it's 64 times the size of PUBG's map. So massive, right?
That's pretty ridiculous.
And
228,000 washing machines.
So, was it in square kilometers or square miles?
square kilometers. So is that San Andreas you looked up?
Yes.
Yeah, I was
but I
going
looked
to
it up
say
in
GTA
modern.
is a good
Okay.
good
Yeah.
comparison.
Put that
Witcher.
over.
Looked it up in miles. It is 33 square kilometers.
Okay, so something double this. Well, not even double. It's, I mean,
Nearly
Almost
double.
double.
it's more than that. It'd
No,
be
it's not.
four
You said
of them.
64, right?
Yeah. 33 doubled to 66.
I guess, yeah. I'm
It
doing
just-
math wrong.
It just
very
doubles
big.
on the y-axis
Yeah.
and the x-axis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that mean it's 4 times as much? 'Cause you're
Well,
multiplying two lengths? I don't know. I haven't been to school in a long time. But the whole idea is the guy, Player Unknown, he is kind of, from what I gathered, over making games, and he wants to make
Games.
things in which people can make games. So this project Prologue is going to be a test for Project Artemis, which is going to be their attempt at making buzzword, yada, yada, AI neural network program that will develop entire worlds. So imagine you have a world that you can make.
This one.
Yeah, kill just this one. You have a world where the entire planet to the scale of like Earth is there. And if you want to, you can run off to the west and encounter areas of the game that no one has ever been to before. And it's going to be an engine/game that people can make their own mods in or their own games. Of course, buzzwords, 10,000 players at a time, 100,000 players at a time.
Sounds like some No Man's Sky shit.
It does. And that's what kind of got me on that topic is like, no one can predict when the next big tech jump is going to be. You know, I followed Will Wright and Spore for almost 11 years, and it went from this grand, future tech post-scarcity game to
Second biggest disappointment of my life.
Yep.
Because I'm a white person in first world country problems.
Okay.
Yeah.
White people.
The first was Fable. So.
The first was Fable.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, yeah.
It's
You're gonna
that's
love
accurate.
this
Yeah.
dog. Peter Molyneux, bless your soul. Who knows, like how this is going to pan out? And there's a lot of flops that then lead to somebody else doing it really well. No Man's Sky went from being a flaming pile of trash to a pretty darn decent rootin' tootin' game, right?
I've played
of
it
tea.
now that's been upgraded and stuff, and it's quite enjoyable actually.
Yeah, and they keep upgrading it, right? They decided, okay, we promised all this shit, release this game, it was bad. Let's just work on it. So then they spent however long it was just releasing update until they eventually got the phase where it's at. Hopefully, no studio ever has to do that again. That sounds horrible, but they did it.
Well, I mean, isn't that fucking admirable as fuck?
Yeah,
that
it
they
is. It's
followed
just-
through.
That must have been really hard on
Like,
their psyches to
honestly,
be like, we had this huge idea and then we completely shit the bed.
Just
and now
hearing that makes me really want to play the game because I'm 34 years old and no one's ever followed through on anything they've ever told me they are my entire life. So the simple fact that someone's like, "Oh, sorry, here we're gonna
actually
keep
gonna
trying,"
fix it. Yeah,
like that. I don't know. That
we
should
we
mean
told
something.
Josh in middle school we'd find his dad for him, and we still
Yeah.
haven't.
we try every once
stopped
in a while. We're
looking,
like,
too.
"Is this your dad?"
I would also argue that I
Stop.
follow through on everything that I tell you I'm going to do.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Rubber band rules.
Yeah.
I was obviously being hyperbolic, but yeah.
Well, if you want to risk being hypothermic or hyperthermic, give No Man's Sky a shot. It's either
That's a
gonna,
good segue.
it's gonna either bounce off you or you're really gonna enjoy it. But yeah, we'll see. You know, who knows what the next real good game engine's gonna be? Unity's having its
Yeah, it's gonna
fucking
be Unity
limelight
too.
right now.
I definitely don't want anybody to stop trying to do what they
Oh,
do.
yeah,
of course.
you gotta
You're
keep
better
moving
than
forward.
Unity too.
But
I do think that I'm always a little amused when it sounds like a game company is like, I want to make a game where everybody else makes the game.
Yeah.
But
It'll change everything.
well, no, just like the people will
The
come along and
concept.
make
Yeah.
the content themselves because it hasn't worked too often.
if he's making an engine for other people to use to make games, that's one thing.
Then totally.
And
Yeah.
it sounds like not only is he trying to make this, his company, Player Unknown Development, or what is it, Productions. And not only are they trying to make the engine, but they're trying to make something with the engine as a like starting point for someone to mess around with. Very little info from what I saw, but
Early.
I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said 5 to 10 years from now is when they plan on having the full Artemis out. Prologue, I think, was supposed to like maybe drop next year. We'll see.
Definitely
Seems
something
like
to keep an
realistic
eye on.
goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the same vein of some sort of sandboxy content creation, Splitgate, which we've talked about, is the weird Halo clone with portals.
Yep.
Has announced that they're going to have a forge from a la Halo, where
Okay.
people can make content to play in there.
Good.
Oh,
And it's gonna be out before Forge will be available for Halo
For
Infinite's
Halo Infinite.
multiplayer.
Yeah, of course.
yeah. Shocker.
But that is something I think that Forge only added to the longevity and the enjoyment for a lot
yeah.
of people to Halo. So it's smart to put that into a game.
Oh, yeah.
Even though once again it calls back to people making their own content. to
That's
have
how we
fun
got
with the game.
Griffball and Rocket
Yeah.
Race and 100%.
Every game that's lasted a long time has done so because of easy modding.
Yes.
Yeah,
100%.
it's-
You know, there are a handful that haven't. Like people have been
Exceptions,
playing Counter-Strike, since the Pleistocene era. But, you know, I think World of Warcraft 3, it spawned MOBAs because of a player-made map. Fortnite has their own creative mode. There's no reason not to, really, in my opinion.
Fuck, Super Mario has their own fucking map creator.
Yeah, Mario Paint.
Super Mario Maker.
Yes, I was thinking Super Mario Maker.
So,
Yeah.
have you guys ever played Super Mario's Time Machine?
Yes.
No.
It was so weird.
I honestly never. I played the game a lot. Or growing up, I remember like putting it in. Like, I want to play this, and I thought it was a game where I surfed. I thought it was. I was like, why do they call this Super Mario's Time Machine? I'm just surfing around on this ocean because I didn't understand anything about how to play that game.
It was not. It did not teach you well.
No,
that
I-
you were like doing a like where's Carmen Sandiego style kind of point and click
I've
puzzle.
That
since
game,
found
yeah, okay.
out. Like
Yeah.
I when I got older, eventually I was like, oh, this is actually how you're supposed to play this game. But
Right.
for the longest time, just a shitty Mario surfing game.
No, I had it, and I remember playing, and I'd never get past like the second level because I was like however young I was, and you just completely bounce off it because they're trying to make this weird educational game. that,
read
like,
these blocks of text and then
like,
remember
I just
specific
want to
things from
step
them.
on Goombas, people.
Yeah, I came here to kick a Goomba in the nards, jump on a turtle, and get a mushroom.
You know, I say that, but then I had like Encyclopedia Britannica for my old Hewlett Packard, and I fucking loved.
Yeah,
reading through
dude.
that
For
shit.
real. Dude. Oh, that Grossology, man.
Oh my!
That fucking game, dude. So that was just another edutainment game, but God, what a good one. Dude,
Hydrogen peroxide. I
Oh.
wonder how it feels. You remember that?
Yeah,
my God.
absolutely. Fucking
I'll
A,
have to
dude.
look
That brought me
stuff
back.
up and
But,
watch it.
dude, the fact that you could print out your own like certificates.
Yeah, you do the
in-
levels, and they'd give you a fucking image you'd print out on your dot matrix printer, right?
Yep.
back in the day.
Looked like a
days.
diploma from graduating
man.
grossology.
You learn how scabs work and
Yeah.
boogers. And
I don't make
dandruff.
scabs well.
Has anyone ever, you know those classic
You
internet,
would fail.
those internet memes of like kids from the 90s will remember this and they'll like show a thing.
Yeah.
Has
Yeah.
anyone ever shown the like cube snake that you make out of dot matrix printer edging?
Yeah.
Like the little paper
Oh,
chain?
you fuck
Yeah.
with the
I don't
rip
know.
off thing.
Because that seems like that'd be, I don't think I've ever seen it, and that
I
seems
feel
like it should
that's been a
qualify.
thing.
Little
Or at the
specific.
very least, that style of printer.
Yeah, the dot matrix
Yeah,
printer.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Anyways, that was. I did have an interesting topic that's twofold. If we want to get into that,
please.
so
We've got we're running a little short on time.
Talk
we got like
faster.
12 minutes. 12 minutes.
all right, okay. So there's a game coming out called Century: Age of Ashes. Have you guys heard of it?
No.
No.
So it is a
Really vague.
dragon shooter. You play
Okay.
a dragon. Essentially, you got a little dude on your back. I don't know how much he comes into play.
Like Panzer Dragoon.
Wait, are
Yes,
you're
but
the
it's-
dragon?
You're the dragon.
Okay, cool.
And it's a multiplayer competitive shooter. You fly around and fight in arenas and stuff as a dragon, right?
Okay.
So yeah, no, I mean, I like Josh's reaction. That sounds pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
But I'm watching gameplay of it, and I mean, if you like flight sims and you like shooters, I feel like this is kind of like a cool. It's essentially a flight simulator, right? You're just competitive flight simmer, but you're on dragons.
Oh, I've seen this. Yeah,
You're
yeah.
a dragon. You're
Right,
flying
and your
a
dragons,
dragon.
well, and they
That's
have
dope.
classes, which is cool. They have the dragons have special abilities.
Wingard.
Wasn't this made by the people that made War Thunder?
I have no idea who made this
I
game.
really hope not. It
Um,
is free to play.
So my question for this type of game is like if it's trying to break into the realm of any sort of like long lasting competitive shooter, because you have to have a following for these games to work, because otherwise your servers are dead, nobody's playing, matchmaking takes too long. So
Yeah.
there's got to be a grab that keeps people around, and it's very unusual that you're ever going to get any sort of longevity from a game without stuff like weapons and armors and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, like what can you do with the dragon? So I'm curious, like, do you think a game like this can survive any length of time when it's so far out of the realm of like a Call of Duty, a Battlefield, an Apex?
So,
Fortnite?
I mean, I feel like if I'm just going to jump in real quick. I feel like there's a bit of stuff you can do with the dragon. You can have rider characters that are switch outable, customizable, all that good stuff. The dragon itself is going to be able to have different armors. You're going to be able to get different dragons. I mean, there's
So those are cosmetics, which are a good thing. I know you could do a lot with the cosmetics if you
like
want to.
Sure.
Have you played?
What does Apex offer other than cosmetics for
Have
shit
you
that
played
buy?
World of
Different abilities.
Tanks, War Thunder, anything like that, Russ?
Yeah.
I have a little bit of World of Tanks.
Okay. So how the general framework of Gaijin games is the one that makes those two at the least, and there are a lot of clones, is that you have tiers of vehicles, and you start out at tier 1, and you very quickly use your freemium currency or the free currency that you earn playing matches to unlock like the tier 2 tanks. And how this quote unquote skill-based matchmaking works is that your first bracket of players are the people playing in like the first 3 tiers of tanks. It depends on the game. But then once you get up to tier 4, you've played for like a week or two and you've unlocked that tier 4. Now you're playing against tier 4, 5, and 6 tanks, right?
Okay.
And eventually after a handful of months, you can get up to tier 8, tier 9, tier 10 tanks. But every tank, you can shoot as much as you want, but you can spend freemium currency to buy armor-piercing rounds for your gun, or better tank commanders,
This
or
sounds
better.
terrible.
It's not even cosmetic. It's you're buying better.
Yeah, it's
in
pay to
games
win.
Pay to win, but it only really applies. It applies much more minimally than in other games, because in most of these games, if you get shot well once, you're done, right? So whether you get hit with a armor-piercing sable round or not, you're going to die until you know how to play the game. So in those first couple of brackets, it really doesn't feel like it's pay to win, because you're slowly making progression and you're realizing, okay, it's much more important to have my tank angled correctly than it is to worry about if they're using a level 9 commander. But then, of course, when you get up into the higher brackets and you're playing against the quote-unquote real boys in the ranked versions, they're all pay to win. They're
Right.
spending the money to make sure they have all the good ammo. I haven't played War Thunder. I assume it's similar. So with something like this, like immediately you have different classes of dragons. Like there was a sci-fi version of War Thunder where you played in spaceships, and I loved it. It was a free-to-play game for like a month, and then you're like, okay, I've kind of hit this gap of I'm not paying money, so I'm not doing very well. But yeah, like Josh was kind of saying, you can easily just think of abilities dragons have or have different tiers of dragons. A lot of the War Thunder, they'll have like tier 4 tanks, and they have the one you can earn for free, and then they have a side grade one that you pay money for. It's just like 5% better in some cases, just enough that it entices people to buy it. And I'm trying to look up the numbers here. It's really hard to tell, but I know that War Thunder and World of Tanks, they do make quite a bit of money.
I'm sure they do. So is it looking like the Age of Ashes is the same style?
I don't know yet. I got on the track.
A freemium mobile game.
I'll have to look that up, and we can talk about it next podcast.
It's easy enough in the vein of Apex to say that like you can keep things content fresh by having new classes that have different abilities and stuff. And that my initial impression seems like that's what they're going to do. I definitely just kind of brought that up as it's unusual to see a game trying to break into that market of like the shooter realm, something that's going to require active servers and stuff for matchmaking that isn't your standard shooter. So I hope they do well. I hope the game is good. I hope it's not some free to play garbage, because that's a nightmare scenario.
It's these days, whenever anything's free to play, it's immediately cause for concern. So we will see.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean,
Apex is free to play. So like you can't say they're all bad.
Right. I mean, Fortnite, I don't play it, but it's obviously good enough that it's one of the most popular games. You can get a lot of enjoyment without having to partake, as long as the fucking shit you buy is only cosmetic. Like, don't pay to win. That's literally where you'll break every fucking game, is if somehow you can pay for an advantage against other players. But now, so there's actually the second point about the story of them coming out. They delayed their launch because of Battlefield 2042 coming out.
Oh, yeah. I think I saw that on Reddit, because they would have gotten completely stomped.
It's rare that this ever happens, and it's so smart that I don't understand why it doesn't happen more often. Because we talk about oftentimes amongst ourselves the demise of Titanfall, and Titanfall's demise very likely, I don't know how much proof there is and stuff like that, but it launched alongside one of those AAA shooter titles, and it's gonna like you have one
Battlefield
shooter.
1, wasn't it?
No, it's earlier than that.
I imagine it's like Black Ops 2.
I think it was Black Ops 2.
Yeah. So, and they're directly competing markets, right? Because they're both first-person competitive first-person shooters. I think objectively, Titanfall was way better a game. It was unique in a lot of concepts, and yet ended up suffering greatly because everyone went to suck off the fucking teat of AAA. AAA teats.
Suck my teats.
Now, it's pretty common. So Blizzard does something that really fucks over a lot of games, is they put out a major content patch, or they announce their expansion for when a competitor or another big AAA title will launch. They do that all the time. So WildStar, for instance.
I remember that. I remember that.
They had no release date. They had no release date for, I think it was Ice Crown Citadel or something. It was a huge content patch. They had no release date for it until WildStar announced their release date. New World. They put out their latest content patch on what was supposed to be New World's first or second open beta. No, the first open beta. So it got less attention.
And New World is the Amazon. The Amazon one.
MMO. Yep.
So before we cut off here, the people who make this new Dragon game, Age of Ashes, they've made one other game, and I'm looking at reviews on Amazon, and they range from no to too much words, spelled T-O. A lot of 1-star reviews, but no.
Can that be a review option on everything I do going forward?
No.
How did you like this restaurant?
No.
Just
too much words.
too much words.
Big menu, too much words.
All right.
Hard pass.
I think it's about to wrap it up, gents.
Yeah.
The hardest.
But I wish more games would push back their cycles to try to avoid that, that huge.
Fingers crossed.
Well, especially if
Christmas
you're more of
rush.
an independent, if you're more of an indie title, and like you're gonna really depend on some fucking momentum, right?
Well, when you think about it too, it's like you got to pitch stuff a lot of times to your shareholders, whatever. So when you have it, because you're always have to answer to the people that own your fucking company.
Because it's never you.
But you would just present them that argument, right? You'd be like, look, I know you want this game to come out as soon as possible, and you want it available for the holiday season. But if we release on this date, we're gonna get drowned.
We're gonna get fucking crushed.
Like, let's just pick a different time. And we've discussed before about how little there are that games release at different points of the year. Like almost all of them land in that like 3 months at the end of the year. And people should make more of an effort to space that shit out.
Yeah.
Give us games to play throughout the year.
Through the whole year.
Christmas money.
How about summers?
Well,
Be
like,
nice.
I feel like that's the thing is like, I don't know, it's that old marketing idea, right? Movies, like exciting movies come out in summer because that's when kids are out of school. But it's like, fuck, the kids grew up and we have nothing else. Just give it to us periodically through the year and keep us happy.
I feel like they made those rules.
Yeah.
Like they just created them. They're like nobody's showing us numbers because they've always just like, well, if we release all of our monies,
Games come out at Christmas, bitch.
Yeah, our kids' animated movies come out in June and they do great. So let's just keep launching them in June, and then from then on out, we'll just say that June's the best month for all these kids' movies. But that's literally only when we've ever released them.
You've heard it here, Amazon. It's COVID time. Release games on Wednesdays.
No.
Every
do it.
Wednesday.
Games come out at Christmas, bitch.
As Jesus would have wanted.
Good night, everybody. We really had to wrap up.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah.
No, that works.
So we have to say actually. So I calculated the storage for Libsyn for our podcast. If we did an episode that was as long as last one, we can do like one more. So
Okay.
So if we keep to the hour and a half, we will be scraping by.
Okay, so snug it in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Jesus fucking respawning in shooters. That's all I could think about.
Jesus respawn.
You're in our Discord, right, Josh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
No.
that's right. I knew that because you're in there. with Robert.
Hambonius.
Yeah. What do you think about New World? Did you look at it at all?
I watched a little piece of it because I actually had some shit written down for it for last week because, Amazon wading in.
Yeah.
Like anything they do, it's like, I'm going to throw $1 billion at this. Maybe more. Let's see. We'll see if it takes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I'd be willing to give it a try.
See, I ask you specifically because you've never really gotten into an MMO before.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I mean, I don't know. It feels ripe. I've only seen just a very little bit of it. Like we watched a trailer or something of it, I suppose.
Yeah. So I've talked now
That'd be
both
nuts.
Nick and Andy about it, but
Yeah.
there's two reasons I think it'd be kind of fun. The first one, I think that Amazon's likely to continue to support this game because it's a flagship title.
Yeah.
Or they really want it to succeed. And they've also shown that they're willing to delay the launch because stuff needs to be fixed and tweaked and modified in the game, a lot based from feedback from the community and stuff like that. And it's so rare to see, especially like a big company, ever do that and just push out a shit game and worry about it later.
Yeah, especially.
So it gives me hopes that there might be something of worth there, although it is Amazon, so I don't know why I'm fucking holding my breath for it.
Yeah, no, it's like it's
Fingers
weird because it's
crossed.
the company. It's like, no, you wear a diaper, you poop in this bag,
Yeah.
but they're also like, we're gonna hold back the game. We care about what you think.
Yeah, I mean, they literally just want to be
so
part of everything.
Market
so.
research shows your game makes more money if you hold it back at least twice. So they did it arbitrarily.
Do we want to watch New World trailer?
Yeah, please. If everyone's
If
cool
there's a
with that.
gameplay trailer, I'd prefer that. Cinematic trailers.
Don't do
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, true, fair.
I mean, there's beta footage.
The other aspect is that all MMOs are a lot more fun to play with friends. So if we were all playing it together at the same time, I think it'd be a pretty cool experience. People from the stream could join us and play some
Update.
MMO with us.
Getting rid of the couch. So I think in the next, I get paid. I get paid on Friday, so I'm gonna go buy a desk.
Ooh. Upgrading from
And
the...
I
You should
think
get it
we're-
off the Facebook Marketplace.
Yes. Like
Andy
the link that I sent
one.
you.
Oh my god, dude, it's so ugly.
It's 4 legs and a tabletop.
It's ugly.
Well, I mean,
Like
I
human
wouldn't wanna buy
legs?
an ugly desk.
Yes.
Don't buy an ugly desk.
It's
No,
black.
that's fine.
It's fine, but I want something L curved, like an L shape that I'm
you
going
don't
to get
have
right.
a fucking enough room.
It's
going to
be a little L.
You literally tried to like
a little
build
chevron.
furniture to push Mike out the front door. Like you play on the front porch now.
I can't fucking say anything because I'm gonna build my own desk. And it's
I
gonna
wanna
be an
make a
L
little-
desk, and it's gonna be a fucking
Okay, it's more.
sit-stand
I'm
desk
thinking
and-
more. I'm thinking more of a chevron, not like a full L. You know, like a little.
You need the weird S
Little
Tetris piece.
little
So-
corner. Little corner.
yeah, yeah.
So you
gotcha.
and Mike
And then-
can be like,
No, Mike's going to be a few feet away from me. It's going to be fine.
Have you looked at Facebook Marketplace? Because there's
Yes,
literally a bunch of
but
L
like-
desks up on there. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I'm looking. Okay, I have been looking, but I found like there's like buy this new desk, and it's like no, motherfucker, I want a used one. And Facebook is like, I'd really prefer if you order this one from IKEA, and it showed me 15 IKEA desks, and I'm like, IKEA can fuck its mouth.
You can have a whole command center for $50.
ooh, there you go.
That's
You actually piqued Josh's interest there.
That's aggressively pushing Mike out of the living
That's what
room.
I thought you did. That's what you're talking about.
It's like, hi, Mike.
Oh, it's not gonna, that's not gonna.
living room. Mr. Pastel, this is the war center.
That's you could have that end over there. That's for you, I guess.
You can play in the hallway. What hallway? That space between your room and the bathroom.
But yeah. But I think we're going to get a chair because Mike.
I recommend a chair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You should get a chair if you're gonna.
Should probably have it.
It's just the fact of the
place
matter
to
is
sit.
you can't even play the computer that's been built for you because you
know.
you just need to get a desk
I need to get a desk.
and desk.
And
You
desk.
mean a chair for the living room?
Yes, a chair for the living room. I already have a very comfortable computer chair.
Okay.
That I sit in to play video games.
There you go.
Poor Mike. Well,
Mike's
I mean,
had it
don't
too good for too long
get
with
you know.
that desk of his.
He was like the first person I welcomed into the PC Master Race.
Mike's had to be going to Grant's Pass to work at fucking
Yeah,
the
that's-
Mountain Mike's over there.
That's
no.
rough.
because they had 6 people on the same day walk off the job.
Fuck.
Like all their shift leads
Yeah.
left.
I can
Wow.
not surprised.
Yeah.
Sucks to hear, but it's happening.
Pay
left and
people
right.
more. Pay people more money. You cannot have fucking shift leads making like $14 an hour at your fucking pizza place.
Yep.
No, you can't.
Find that out the hard way.
There's literally
Everybody will
a
leave.
car wash, an automated car wash, where if you work there, I'm pretty sure your job entails spritzing the front of a vehicle and maybe taping a windshield wiper that starts at $17 an hour.
Yeah.
Starts at $17 an hour for that job, and they start people at $13 an hour. I'm bewildered every day that I go in to work there because they can go to any other restaurant and make a starting wage more than that. Like even like the McDonald's and Taco Bells are hiring $14.25 an hour. I'm like, how do you get away with that? Paying $13 an hour for people is insane.
Honestly, anything below $15 an hour is like a slap in the face.
At this point, yeah.
I had a very frank conversation with my manager stuff there about when they're having me. Anytime that I'm not delivering pizzas, my wage bottoms out to that $13 an hour. And I told her,
do
like,
not want to be here.
you can
going
$13 is not enough to keep me here and stuff. So I let them know, like, I will only do this under duress a few times while you're short staffed, but know that this is not what I agreed to, and this is not what I was hired on to do.
Final countdown.
And they fixed it, so now I'm great. I'm happy.
I'm gonna
again. That's
fucking
good.
quit.
Yeah. Also, extremely insulting how much more money I make delivering pizzas than I did working my job for the last 6 years.
Right.
But
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
Sometimes.
So yeah,
Yeah.
how
What?
does
How does
like
leather
I don't like no,
do?
dude. I was just thinking about that. It's like you're a straight up skilled fucking craftsman,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and you make more money now.
Mm-hmm.
So far, I'm correct. Yes.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
More money now
Yeah. $6 more an hour.
while making pizza.
I don't even make pizzas.
While delivering pizza.
I
Sorry.
drive them
Yeah.
from the store
Dude.
to the house.
Pizza delivery is such a good job if you don't have to drive your own car.
Yes, that is the crux.
Hi,
of it.
Sharon.
You want to bring me the snoot?
And
snoot.
Monsieur Crombert.
From Bale?
Crombert.
Crombert. The Crombert report.
He's
All he does is bork and eat hot chip and lie.
Now, this will get us some follows for sure. Look at him. There he is.
We got the dog.
Doggy.
Look how cute
Crumble,
he is.
you're on the internet.
Look how cute he is. Look at him. Oh, my God. Look at him. He has little hollow bones, and he is entirely made of hair.
Grew out of
And
his hollow bones.
he's got.
Or so we
big-
think.
Where did they
We
go?
hope he grew out of his hollow
He just
bones.
hasn't taken a big step yet.
Don't lick my mic. Gross.
Didn't he break his leg walking too hard?
No. People kept throwing him at the ground.
Yep.
Oh,
Just eating dogs.
He danced because he was a.
gotcha.
He is a floof.
Now, he rolled off of a hotel bed when he was, I think, about 3 months, shortly after we got him, broke his leg, and then it healed, nearly full.
Yeah, like supposed to get the cast, or just got the cast off.
Just got his splint off, and Andy yeeted him off the balcony.
Yep. Of course. No, I'm literally going to set him down, and he turns into a crumble tornado. So I'm setting him down, and I'm
just freaked out.
yeah, I'm just waiting for him to be still enough to set down, right?
Yeah.
And he decided mid dropping that he was just gonna wail about and
He fell like 6 inches.
it
It
seriously.
was literally like this
Oh, I
much.
thought you meant off the balcony.
No,
I was kidding.
No,
Yeah,
if he had put his he had just
Okay.
put his fucking legs straight, he wouldn't have dropped.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
And yeah, it just happened to be that I think he wasn't healed enough, and it just literally re-broke his leg. But it seems like he's grown back stronger and better than ever. So,
Just a happy, handsome little boy. Yes.
and he's actually just Pom. He's not mixed with anything. He's just a Pomeranian. You want to say hello?
He's at least 1/3 Porg.
Well, I mean, I can hope, right?
Poor Garanian.
Bye, buddy.
Pound that like button, and we'll bring the dog out more.
Yeah,
If you pound that like button, we will ensure that dog's safety.
That's a
Brett.
whole other way to take that. Yeah. All right. I gotta step outside and make some texts.
Texts.
Multiple
We do need a
texty
thing for the outro
Okay.
or for the intro, rather. Be thinking of things.
Watch that New World trailer.
Oh yeah, are you guys gonna do that?
I can put it on.
Sure. Yeah.
I bumped the microphone.
Yeah.
Bump it up.
So, I mean, there are like IGN previews for gameplay. Do we want to watch that instead of the cinematic trailer?
I mean, yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Hands-on preview. That's 1 year ago. This one's 2 months ago. This one's 4 months ago. So,
2 months.
yeah, we're going 2 months, but there has been an open beta since. So,
If you're not already familiar with it, New World is the upcoming and long-awaited MMORPG from Amazon Game Studios. And that wait is almost over, given that New World is finally launching to the public on August 31st. Recently, I was given 5 hours to run around, leveling up my own character from scratch, a process that had me venturing through the very first zone, Windsward, which spans the first 10 levels of gameplay and then some. After that, I jumped into a session of New World's PvPvE mode, Outpost Rush, and finally, I was given a tour through one of New World's endgame dungeons, the Lazarus Instrumentality, which is
It looks
aimed
fun.
at parties of 5 characters who have reached level 60. That's a mouthful, but there's a lot here, so let's get to it.
I mean, that looks cool. I'd play that with y'all.
The first part of the preview event had me starting from ground zero, and this was no mistake. Beginning a fresh character, New World gave me the free rein to slow down and experience the island of Eternum through the eyes of a fresh survivor of a shipwreck. And let me tell you, this place is vast. Once you get yourself off the beach and closer to Windsward Settlement proper, you're treated to grand vistas and gorgeous, flora-rich valleys where you can lay down your campsite and just watch time pass by the fire if that's what you want.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah, sometimes
There are
after a
plenty of
long
discovery
day
Shut
at
up,
work,
nobody
locations
wants
that
that.
pop up on your
You don't just
compass
stare at
as
the
you
fire.
approach them. I
like to go
casually stumbled
fishing.
upon plenty of
different.
caves and abandoned farmlands, and of course there's the rustic yet thoroughly lived-in Windsward Settlement, but the world itself is also quite malleable and unpredictable. For one, the landscape is dotted with resource nodes, like trees, bushes, and boulders, that blend right into the background, and you can actually harvest any of these resources that you see. But like I said earlier, it's unpredictable. As you wander around and find your bearings at a low level, you will also run into enemies that are far higher level than you as corruption slowly takes hold of the region. This can lead to some genuinely scary encounters. For example, at one point, a group of monsters chased me all the way up to the gates of Windsward Settlement. And then I was ferried off to Outpost Rush, New World's 20 versus 20 player PvPvE battleground. I thought it was fun when I tried it out a few weeks ago and focused on attacking and defending bases with a bow and a nice gauntlet, but this time I chose a completely different build and went with a fire staff and a great axe, both of which are useful for crowd control and melee range. And instead of going head to head with the opposite team, I spent more time exploring Nothingness Island. In fact, I finally made my way down to the Corrupted Portal, which I skipped during my preview of Outpost Rush a few weeks ago, while collecting Azoth and infused wood to haul back to my fortress. It was a markedly different experience, showing me that even if you're not big into PvP, there will still be plenty of ways to go off and purely focus on PvE stuff while still contributing to your team's success.
That's neat.
I didn't know there was
portion of the
PvE
preview
stuff
took me
in
to
the
the Lazarus
PvP mode.
instrumentality.
That's cool.
An
That's kinda
endgame
like,
dungeon with some genuinely tough bosses that took strategizing from the entire
that
group to
game
get
mode?
through after several tries. As an avid Elder Scrolls Online player, this reminded me of some of ESO's more recent dungeons, like Scale Color
Battleground has that.
where it's very easy to wipe unless each party member does the right thing at the right time. But finally getting through that pesky boss or that really challenging puzzle for the first time feels like a well-earned victory, and my party shared several of those moments together. But much like last time, I had a weak connection to Amazon Games' test server, which is located opposite me on the East Coast and often averaged about 200 to 300 milliseconds of ping.
Oof.
And despite that fact, I still managed to have a smooth enough connection to play for 5 hours without too many issues.
Okay.
Besides a few crashes and some sticky combat,
They
with
wouldn't
lag
have just
spikes,
East Coast
New World
servers
still
online.
managed
Not
to
online,
be
yeah.
coherent
That's just the
overall.
beta.
In
That's a
some,
pretty small
New World
complaint,
seems
then.
to have a bit of everything, but it doesn't sound like you'll ever be hemmed into one style of play if you prefer PvP over PvE or vice versa. And whether or not these systems actually come together with just as much nuance ultimately hinges upon how popular New World ends up being once it launches next month. But right now, especially after what I've been shown, I'm pretty optimistic. For more on New World, check out our recent previews of Outpost Rush and Emerine Excavation. And for everything else in the world of video games, stick with IGN.
So that was a pretty glowing review. The one I watched was a guy that had already put in like 200 hours into the betas and stuff, and he talked about and stuff I think was probably a little more telling about some of the issues that might arise in the game. So this game was originally designed to be an open world sandbox survival game with a lot of like just open world PvP. So something like Conan and just PvP.
Or Ark?
Like Arc-ish, kind of like,
Okay.
so survival open world.
Okay.
And then through the development process, I think from feedback from the community, they decided that that wasn't exactly what everybody wanted. And so they started implementing more of a PvE campaign to put into the game. But the systems that they had in place from that original concept are ones that obviously got the most polishing because they've been there since the beginning, and as it's been adapting to be more of a PvE campaign game, those other ones have not suffered. They've been improving alongside of it. So the PvP combat seems like it's really well-rounded and balanced and stuff because that was an original intent in the game. The crafting system was an original part in the game, and he showed how the crafting menus and how the systems and stuff worked, and it seemed very nuanced, but also easy to understand. And I'm always going to appreciate a clean GUI when it comes to doing the crafting and stuff like that. The parts that still seem a little rough around the edges and might be a bit tiresome are some of the PvE elements that exist because it was one of the more recent additions to the game. So your quests end up being fairly generic MMO quests: fetch, kill, fetch, kill, fetch, kill.
Isn't like, but I mean, if it's going to, I mean, if you shoot at the king, right? Amazon's obviously shooting for the king being
Warcraft.
WoW. Yeah, right?
For the most part. Well, these days,
So
it's getting
isn't,
more
like,
hazy and hazy
are
by the
those-
minute, but-
Yeah, it's Final
Is
Fantasy
the-
14.
Oh, then they've taken the title. So,
Yeah.
but I see what you're saying. It's like they're going to be following similar vein.
But like, I famously never played WoW. Is the PvP the main driver?
It's
Or is the
either. So
Yes.
it's an open world MMO, so
Okay.
you can partake of the PvP stuff or the PvE. Now there is open world PvP, and this is where Andy was a little disappointed, is that they changed the system around to. It used to just be like if you're out in the open, you can be PvP'd. They changed it to a flagging system. So you need to flag yourself as being willing to participate. And they have implemented a balance system so that you're never...
You can't just be murked by some motherfucker.
Right.
80,
So getting some level 50
80
person ganking you is unlikely. It'll put you within a range. So at the very least, like, they're going to have an advantage over you, probably a stiff one, but at least there's some aspect of being able to play. And if you saw the gameplay, like in that large scale PvP battle, it's a very dynamic style of PvP where you're manually targeting stuff that you have to hit with. And
I noticed that.
There's definitely, I don't think like just click on that dude and cast a spell stuff, but
so I'm gonna jump on Kona's point here. The armors didn't necessarily jump out at anything for me, but I think they're trying to get like I didn't see anything that was like crazy fantasy style armors, like huge pauldrons and cod pieces.
Right. Well, the world itself is supposed to be like a North American world.
Yeah, I saw what looked like conquistador armor. I would have to go through and put another watch in, but it might not be more. It might not be so much. I mean, they said great axes and fire staves, so obviously there's a fantastical element to it.
Supernatural involved. So I think it's the kind of stuff that we're going to see progress as the game goes on. Like initially, like especially when you see stuff like level cap increases and stuff like that, but you're not going to see a lot of like end game armor sets and equipment.
In that first clip, absolutely.
Yeah, the game's not out yet and whatnot.
I don't know how I felt about the green mustache,
but that looked fucking terrible. That was his choice. Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, I got tired of even the Warcraft's aesthetic. So I don't know. I hope that I agree actually with you, Kona, that I would like to see more done.
Just cooler armor.
I'm also into really cool armor and weapons and stuff.
I want lightning and fire on places of parts of my body.
Yeah, but I also like that it starts out generic like this because that leaves room for you to acquire pieces in the future that really stand out.
Yeah.
I mean, I think about in Warcraft when you got your first piece of armor or a weapon that had any sort of aura effect to it was the fucking shit.
Yeah,
so
dude.
Like that's big pimping. The first time you're in there, that's big pimping right there.
So
okay.
I like that there's design space there for that.
Perfect.
And I don't mind, like, if we're going to do any sort of grindy MMO shit where we get, like, go fetch 10 bear asses and then go kill Steve the troubadour because he said shit about my wife, that's fine when you have friends to play with.
Yeah.
Because you can just sit there all day and mind, like, I play Path of Exile, so I'll bullshit with my friend online as we play, as I literally run content over and over and over again just because that's what you do when you grind, so...
So
I'm excited. I want to try it.
I'm down.
It's not a full price game. It's $40. There's no subscription.
That's
fee.
mid price.
So yeah,
damn, and no subscription.
Yeah, I was surprised that they're running no subscription fee. So it sounds like there will be an in-store store.
Okay,
but cosmetically. So
so again, not play to win, but play for skins or
pay for skins.
Pay for skins,
which could be kind of irritating if like only cool skins end up being available through the in-game market.
That feels like an Amazon move. Don't you fucking do it, Bezos. I know you can hear me.
Yeah.
I know you're not listening, but I know you can hear me.
Jeffrey
Bezos. We did it.
Yeah, so I think why not? Let's jump in, try it out. If we're having fun, we keep playing. If not, then we can fuck off to something else.
Word.
Boop, boop, boop.
So, shit.
I'd almost prefer
there you go.
Had yeah.
That's a low level Urizingus right there.
Urizingus?
That's not even really low level. That's probably like
mage.
40. That's my like original mage.
Yep.
Yeah.
The OG mage.
The OG, the Og.
Killed many Gargar Crocolisk with
True, dude. So many Crocolisks. You know how many fucking scales I got? At least 6.
At least of that. Out of the 3 million Crocolisk killed.
Yep.
We recovered that many.
At least 6.
This is 6. It's 3.
Not the kind of guy you want to see in a dark alleyway.
No, it certainly isn't. He would cast low level Fire Blast on you.
Yeah.
So I looked at my character's name, Mugran, and the only thing I can find is a comment I made on Wowhead.
Yeah.
About enchanting gloves. This quest is bugged to hell. I just finished flying, didn't
Dude,
get
that was
shot
probably
down.
ported over from Thoughtbot.
Yeah, when I go to the website, the comment's not even there.
It's not what you think, Josh. It's not what you think.
It should be now, though. I mean, that domain, let's free that up.
Oh, shit. Andy's scrolling through some oldies over there.
Yeah, I know there's fucking old-ass WoW screenshots on my Facebook because I post more of those than I do of myself.
Back before you could grow facial hair.
I can barely grow facial hair as it is.
I'm embarrassed to admit how long I went with my character's name, not realizing the unintentional cow pun for him. Because my character's name was Calypse, which was just short for Apocalypse. I thought it was cool. But I played a fucking cow, a Tauren, and WoW, which it sounds like cow lips.
So you're cow lips the cow?
I legitimately, for like, I think all of the time I played WoW, didn't think of that once. It wasn't until I'd already quit the game. And I'm like, oh my God.
You needed a grade schooler to be like, fucking cow lips.
Which, I mean, I wish I could take credit for it because that's actually kind of funny, right? That's a clever name.
Yeah, if you'd done it on purpose, it would have been great. But you did it on accident, so you dumb.
No, Kone may pee in my butt.
Dude. Coney can pee in my butt any day.
Yeah.
I still use that in raids.
I hope
Pee
so.
in my butt?
/ me pees in your butt. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So it emotes your Zingus pees in your butt.
I'm pretty sure I've threatened my girlfriend with that before.
Yeah.
Just
Talk about consent.
Yep. It's good to threaten to pee in people's butts.
Yeah.
Especially like, hey,
What's your boy butthole?
if you don't hurry up and choose something to eat for lunch, I'm going to pee in your butt. She did not appreciate it.
Oh, man.
So I was thinking about that recasting question.
I'm really
And
right there.
I'm going to dip back into The Boys.
Don't dip into boys.
The Boys. I would like to see, I feel like they should replace Mother's Milk, MM, with, I would be okay if he was replaced with Terry Crews.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Terry hates superheroes. Bam, peck blast.
You can do it.
He'd be great because we love Terry Crews.
Yeah.
He would not be as cool as that guy is.
No. That guy is way fucking awesome. It's great. But I just man, Terry hates superheroes. I want Brooklyn Nine-Nine Terry Crews. That's
Terry hates ledges.
Yeah.
I feel like you want Camacho Terry Crews, right?
I just love Terry Crews, man. I love Terry Crews. And in Witcher, I would replace current Dandelion with Jean Ralphio from
We mentioned that before.
Yeah.
That's such a good choice.
To your Witcher.
I don't think he's attractive enough.
Yeah,
No,
to
but
play
it would be.
Dandelion.
I just want John Ralphio to be.
in most things.
Yeah.
My main complaint about Dandelion is the fact that he should be ridiculously good looking.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, can we bring up a picture to find me Dandelion?
He's not. I mean, he reminds me of
Ryan
Reed. But,
Yeah, I kind of remember him.
which sorry for Ryan, but you're not a bad looking guy. You're just not. As
You're not
good looking as you should
Dandelion
be.
You know, yeah.
No Dandelion.
The guy who literally makes his living hooking up with the ladies and being a bard should be.
Well, isn't that part of the charm? He's not as good looking as you would expect, but he.
No.
Okay, fine.
I've
He's
evaluated it.
I mean, he's not ugly.
He looks like a
that
former,
guy's borderline 4.
He looks like a former boy band member.
Okay, could you find a picture of him smiling? Did you look for a bad picture of him?
No, that was literally just the first picture.
Okay, well, look for.
If you look up Dandelion Witcher, it's almost all from the game.
What does he look like in the game? Bring
Okay.
up one of those real quick.
Yeah, bring that up. Let's see if Russ can latch on to something here. Because I'm just saying, if you find a picture of Scarlett Johansson taking a bad dump, you're going to be like, oh.
Look at that. That's Renaissance era.
Okay, throw a fucking swarmy mustache on that fucking dude then. Draw a mustache on him in Photoshop, Andrew.
No,
Andy.
it's not going to work.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I was
No,
too close.
you guys do you. It's okay. I just
yeah,
have shitty ears.
Get that picture of Dandelion, and you just Photoshop a mustache on that sumbitch.
No, just find a better picture of the guy that plays him because it does not apply.
he's not.
If you're gonna cast somebody,
I just
next
feel like
to fucking.
he's like, hey, I bathe and know how to fucking sing. That makes him fucking attractive. Okay, like I took a bath today. Did you do that? No. Well, let's bone.
Does his hair?
Here's the problem, Josh.
Yep.
I'm looking him up. He's not smiling in like any
In, like,
of his
anything, yeah.
photos.
That okay?
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
But look, he's just
Well,
frowning.
that's
Yeah.
because Geralt was probably being mean to him.
Well, yeah,
Geralt's never mean to him. Never happened once.
definitely not in the second to last episode of the Witcher.
I feel like
series
I
on
mean he
Netflix.
played the game more, but
No,
like,
he definitely has. I'm.
oh,
I'm-
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
But the cartoon, that animated thing.
He looks like a Karen.
There's. I mean, you're literally gonna cast somebody.
Okay, fine.
Think about
Next
who
to
he's
him.
next to in this movies.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
get somebody better
a little
looking.
bit of a dichotomy.
well,
there.
you also hate how Yennefer looks, so
Yeah, Yennefer is wrong.
She is objectively incorrect
She
as
is
a person.
incorrect. They failed in casting Yennefer.
now
Yeah.
your casting choice, I believe, was Jennifer Connelly because we've talked about this before.
I think that when I think of Yennefer, I think of somebody like Jennifer Connelly. I'm not saying that it had to be, but I want somebody that naturally has that the
gravitas.
well, it's the pale skin, the dark hair, because those are the character traits. I'm not trying to be
Okay,
racist
yeah,
or
no,
exclusionary.
like you're. Yeah.
And then the presence, being able to pull when I walk into a room, everyone looks at me.
I feel like Carrie Ann Moss, a younger version.
Carrie on Mass, and I've
Moss,
so
yeah.
rarely seen her without like Trinity hair.
Yeah, I don't know how she'd look, and I don't know enough about Witcher to know if that's accurate. But I feel like
Maybe
from what
if
I've
she's
seen
made up
of
with a
her
bunch of
in the
makeup.
game, yeah,
Possibly,
But when she
I
was
would- I'd be on the
younger-
fence about that.
yeah, I don't know. Anyways,
What about that chick that's from the Underworld?
No, Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah, she's pretty hot.
No, she wouldn't work.
it's not a hotness thing.
Kate
It's-
Beckinsale has
but
no
she has-
presence.
Okay, but the other two things, though, the darker hair.
I think that looks
Being
wise,
male,
it wouldn't have been bad casting wise. But anytime I see Kate Beckinsale in a movie, she does not have that power.
Elizabeth Olsen with a dark
you,
colored
you need some like Meryl Streep level fucking room gravitas, and that's hard to come by. I don't even know necessarily if Jennifer Connelly has something like that.
You just think that's a swing in a closer direction?
Yes,
Okay.
that's very
Okay.
accurate. Yeah, you're getting much closer because I also think that the person that they cast as her is just objectively too young looking, and not necessarily for like what age she's supposed to be in the series or anything. Like she's a fucking witch and she's ageless. Being cast as that other half of Geralt doesn't, because Henry Cavill just looks kind of like older and more mature, and I would like to see them on kind of the same level because they really are. They're just from kind of different worlds essentially.
But they're roughly the same age.
Oh no, I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
Like she's way older, right?
I think she's probably like twice as old as he is.
well,
I don't know for
okay.
sure. I'm guessing.
Okay, but like I feel like if she's supposed to be even like because Geralt's pretty fucking old, right? Like
I
at this
think
point,
he's at least like 70.
that's okay, and still being like, I mean, he's tearing through that armor, guys. I'm just saying.
He's got the juice.
They were like, this armor cannot contain this man's muscles. So, I mean, like, and he's 70. So yeah, I mean, I feel
Jennifer's
like
almost 100 according to the internet.
oh, okay. So okay, then yeah,
So Geralt is almost 100. So
they're roughly the same age.
they're roughly
then.
the same age.
Okay, so then yeah, then they should have got. I guess yeah, she might be a little bit young, like you're saying. If Geralt's supposed to be like toward the end of middle age, right? But is she going to stay that way forever? Because like,
She can live to be, I think, hundreds of years. I think sorceresses can
and
live
like
a long
and
time.
Witchers
so
get like a taste of that, right? Like
they
200
are
years.
long. I don't know how long a Witcher lives. To be
Okay.
honest, I don't know a lot of the. I don't have
But
the
watching-
lore memorized.
Until their watch is over.
But watching
Usually
the
somebody
animated,
dies,
it made
so.
me want to go back and
300
and
maximum
play
of 400.
and play some Witcher. I've never like really played a Witcher game, and I feel like that's another miss.
Yeah,
I missed out on my
It's
part.
a huge miss. You'd love it because it's fantasy. I don't understand why you haven't played that.
So, what do we talk about on the podcast?
Oh, Triss is terrible too, but she's a less of a primary
Just
character.
Marigold.
So I don't mind them taking liberties with her. So, sorry.
Talked about the Player Unknown thing.
Mhm,
We
I got
talked
that.
about Horizon Zero Dawn. We went on a rant at the end about something.
Oh, you and I argued about Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah, I admitted to jacking off mid-game session.
New World, Century, Age of Ashes, the Xboxes, the PlayStation 5.
You argued with
Horizon.
Andy, not me.
Yeah. No, that's who I was talking to.
Okay, you're just looking at me.
Well, yeah, you're just in the
'Cause
way.
I'm
of
in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's fair.
We did the comedian actor thing. Was that on the podcast?
That was during the break.
Was
Pretty
it?
sure
It's either pre-podcast or during the podcast.
I think it was
wasn't
during the podcast. Yeah.
it might have been.
We field a question from the audience.
Colin wins for all Fable marriage things because he beat his husband
Into another game.
into another game. Yeah, he disappeared from Fable
We're
into
just
a
gonna
wall.
leave it at that too.
Yeah, Colin got a gay marriage to a man and remorselessly beat him until
Yes.
he disappeared from the
Yes, he
game.
did.
Yeah, he glitched through a wall.
Showed up
And
in
never-
Assassin's Creed.
Showed up in Assassin's Creed.
Many years later.
Mystery Science Theater 3000 is a show that I loved as a kid, and then when I got to being an adult, I wish that they would do that and it wasn't fucking PG-13.
Yeah.
It's like, make the adult version of this and have it be as funny.
It's called Red Letter Media.
I mean, it's pretty close. I would love to see like a,
You know,
a
guys,
show
maybe
where
we
you
should
have-
we should take a stab at that one.
we are not that funny.
Yeah.
No, okay, well,
I don't think. I mean,
You gotta be witty as you have to write a script.
there's
Yeah.
somebody said how Mystery Science Theater has a shitload of episodes and not all of them are great.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what we just play the numbers game.
yeah.
I would be blown away to hear that they didn't have a script for those though. I'm almost positive that they would watch a movie, write the
Yeah,
script.
you know, you
and
probably
then-
have a few scripted zingers, but you know, you play a few by ear. The phones come out. Man, that'd be kind of cool to.
The early episodes were mad-libbed.
Oh.
Turns out that's when it got bad. That's what the internet says. Since they started scripting it.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know how true that is, but true fans of Mystery Science Theater would already know that. They'd be like, yeah, episodes 100 to 864 were the golden years of fucking Mystery Science Theater 3000.
It's like our friend Brian when he'll say a quote from Futurama, and then like you continue
Brian
talking,
likes
and
Futurama
he
much
will
more than I
quote the name of the episode it was from.
Even though nobody asked. Nobody asked him.
It's an impressive level of dedication. It is 60 Fs outside right now.
That makes sense.
Chill.
I finished up RimWorld.
What is that? What is that? You're done and you're over it?
I went to space. We
Oh,
left.
okay.
We got the fuck off the RimWorld.
You just now got to space after all this playing?
It took about a month.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I honestly, I have no point of reference, so I'm genuinely like,
It's hard to tell because I left the game running overnight a handful of times, or running while I was doing other stuff, or running while I was looking up stuff. So I have like 300 hours, quote unquote, in the game on Steam, but it's probably for this particular run, maybe 40, 50 hours, if I had to guess, from start to finish. But what really kicked it into gear for me was winter was coming. I'm playing in a boreal tundra, and it routinely gets down to 0 degrees. And then I had a volcanic winter hit.
sounds terrifying.
Yeah,
that's
it lasted another
bad.
half a year, and it immediately dropped to like -20, -30 degrees Fahrenheit. So like relying on traders to come by, they'd show up on the map, and 30 seconds later immediately turn around and leave because it was too dangerous to be there. But no, I built the spaceship. Got attacked a whole bunch, held them off because I way over prepared, and then loaded up everybody in a giant dire bison because I had a one extra pod.
All right, y'all, let's go die in space.
Is that a scripted event to where when you're going to like launch your space shuttle that you're guaranteed to be attacked?
Oh, it even tells you. It's like the signal coming off of the nuclear reactor for the ship is going to alert everyone that you're trying to leave, and they're going to come and try and take your shit. So, yeah, you get raided like every other day for 15 days, if not almost nearly
You will stay
twice a day.
here on this shitty place with us. Mm-hmm. Not like, hey,
Crabs in a bucket mentality.
Could
right?
we maybe like send some of our families with your people? Is
If
there
they had
room?
just asked, I could have made some more pods, but no, they want to try to attack.
Yeah, it was like, could we come? And you would have been
They're all
like
the
actually,
psychos
yeah.
from
There's-
fucking Borderlands.
They really are like, psychos and reavers. But no, you just
I'm the conductor of the poop train.
you get these people running in, riding their horses, their pigs with their revolvers and their makeshift submachine guns, and I've given everybody anti-material rifles, and I've got rail guns mounted on the base. It's just a massacre.
But you got to appreciate the majesty of a near barbarian man riding in on a large war pig.
Dude, I had a dude
With
come
a
in on a
submachine
Hydra, and he had a sling.
Yeah.
He's riding a Hydra, which was amazing, and he's just yelling his ass off. But all he had was a sling.
You know, I
It's
don't.
like,
I
that's-
feel like that man somehow wound up on the Hydra.
He's too afraid to get
Yeah,
off.
and then he was like, "Holy shit, this motherfucker hasn't noticed I'm here." And
It's the only safe place at that point.
yeah, it's like I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm just going to fucking do this as long as the magic happens.
I guess I live here now.
The stories that game develops it's fantastic.
Well, I mean, that feels like a lot of fun. I like making headcanon for myself, and
what
so
that game's all
sometimes that'll even extend into rules because I played the only person who's played Skyrim more than me that I know personally is Colin, and maybe Adam. But like I'd play Skyrim and then I would have to make rules for myself. Like, okay, I'm going to play this character, but he's Khajiit, and Khajiit are thief.
Steal from everyone.
Yeah, so I would only go into town at night, and I'd have to hide. And so if a guard saw me, I would have to leave town.
Okay.
So I'm like, I have to give myself rules. Otherwise, I'm like, why the fuck am I playing Skyrim? I was like, I know why I'm playing Skyrim. This arbitrary reason.
Yeah.
Can
When I play
Khajiit?
Skyrim, I like to play as a gender fluid talking space wolf.
Yeah.
You turn into like a werewolf?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Depends on if it's fucking season.
Rutting and fucking.
Rutting and fucking.
Rutting and
Do
fucking.
you get the
Wolf time.
Do you get any Warhammer lore videos on your TikTok?
No, I'm very new to TikTok, and so far I've found a dude that talks about how like fucking crazy animals are. Like his orca video was fucking nuts. He's like, let me tell you about how like the most disrespectful fucking animal on the planet. It's fucking orcas.
It's just a 30 seconds video. He's like, orcas are crazy. And Josh is like, oh shit, orcas are crazy.
Motherfucking orcas flip seals 80 feet into the fucking air.
Yeah. And they're not sure if it's for fun,
Fun
or
or
like
an
mixing
actual
their
reason.
skin or something.
Absolutely.
and
for
they're
fun.
It's I imagine it's for fun. They eat sharks alive because they can.
Yep.
If a great white shark sees an orca in its hunting grounds, it will just fucking leave.
For years.
Yeah, it would be like, no,
Yeah.
no. It's like they're like this fucking seal and the sea panda can jump 15 fucking feet in the air, and it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. He did one about hippos, and it's like this motherfucker's gonna bite a crocodile in half.
Yeah. Well, I already know about those things. Do
Yeah.
you know anything about the Warhammer lore?
No.
Okay, so I think maybe hands down, Warhammer has the greatest lore of any fantasy universe.
It may very well.
it might have the most.
I mean, I honestly,
It's got so much
I'm
to
going to
pull
make an
from.
argument for it being the greatest just because it's so fucking crazy. Like, first of all,
it
like, I've
is
talked about the
bonkers.
warp before, about
that
how
the-
space travel's like going
It's
through
like
hell.
the orcs have paint shit purple.
Orcs are
Red because
So-
it goes faster, and purple because it makes you invisible.
Orcs have an ability from being orcs to where if they believe it, It
it
happens.
is.
It alters reality
Okay.
around them. But it goes further than just like them painting their vehicles red to go faster, which would actually make them factual. Their guns and stuff that they have aren't guns. They're just shit that they've glued together in a shape that they think is a gun. And because they think it's a gun,
5-year-old Josh
it
with
works.
a stick going, bah, 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 and then like shit's fucking dying.
Yeah.
That's
They have
fucking
they have a
dope.
gun that sucks goblins into it and then teleports them through hell and then fires them out the other end. So sometimes, and when they come out the other end, they're not even goblins anymore. They're like hell-touched fucking demon imps. And then sometimes when you pull the trigger, just gore comes out because going through hell is very dangerous. And sometimes the goblin they sucked in,
gore?
sometimes
Like lava gore, like
their spaceships have fucking roll down windows. They can open their windows in their spaceships because they don't know that they can't breathe in space, so they don't have to. They don't have to because they don't know they can't. It's fucking fantastic. And that's not even touching on like when you start getting to the Imperial and all the like fucking war machines and stuff that they have there, dude. The shit's fucking bonkers cool.
I'm also pretty sure, orcs and Warhammer are fungi.
Well, no, because they're from the frog people. The frog people made them.
The Slani?
I don't know what they're called, but I know that they were made by an ancient frog people.
That's fucking intense. I didn't I knew about the red thing, but the rolling the windows down thing, that's
And
I'm
that's-
sorry, that shouldn't work.
All
but
their
it's-
space
it's-
travel is going through what they call the warp, which is essentially hell. It's a hell dimension. And then when they travel through space, everyone does it. But you have to have shields around
like their
your ship.
event horizon.
Yeah, 100%. And if those shields ever go down, it's like you literally flash an eternity in hell because of the fucking shields went down, kind of stuff. And it's
I don't know much about this lore, but I am siding with Russ. This is the craziest shit I've ever seen.
it's bananas.
dope.
So whoever invented it, I can't tell.
Astartes is amazing.
But, the orcs are spores.
Okay.
They drifted through space or arrived by some other means, and they're essentially just a colony. But yeah, it's fantastic. The hardest thing, I talked with Just about this before, about really enjoying Warhammer, is it's so Nazi-esque.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get away from that, especially when you're reading like the human space
About the
parade
Empire?
stuff. Just the general feel of everything is like if the Nazis became a spacefaring race.
But I mean, like, that doesn't mean you don't have to root for the Nazis winning, right? Like, you can just-
everyone's the bad guy in
Yeah,
Warhammer,
Warhammer,
and
whichever it
it's
is.
never going to get better. It is the the definition of grimdark. But yeah, I've read a few novels when I was younger. The Warhammer, it's like I like this, but I really just feel like I'm reading about a bunch of space Nazis all the time.
you can make the argument that the Empire in Star Wars is comparable, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
I mean, despite their propensity for building Death Stars, I've always identified I'm an Empire man. I like the bad guys in Star Wars.
You just want a stable paycheck.
Yeah, that's true.
That's, I mean, at the end of the day,
and a fucking guard and a fucking
15
guardrail.
credits an hour.
And a fucking guardrail, okay? I'm gonna fucking call Imperial OSHA, and Palpatine's gonna fucking drag his brain out and just rub it on somebody's face for no guardrail.
Okay,
I'm not quite sure what you're referencing.
Yeah, what?
he's upset about guardrails.
That there aren't enough.
Well,
Yeah,
rails.
like when they fucking fire the fucking Death Star beam, and there's that fucking dude standing there, and there's
He's
that
like
little
4 feet away from it.
there's like on a little plinth out in
Maybe-
fucking space, and the fucking laser beam flies right by him. And there's no fucking guardrail. He's just like, Jesus.
Maybe a long time ago in a galaxy far, far and away, people were more intelligent and did less stupid
No,
Darwinian
like
shit.
that's
one
just
fell
that's the
over.
punishment
No
platform.
one stood in front of the giant planet destroying laser.
No, that stormtrooper accidentally walked in on Palpatine when he was in the bathroom. To the punishment platform, stormtrooper. Fire the laser beam.
Little does he know the amount of radiation he got from being on that fucking platform.
It's like I got a sunburn. What the hell? 3 hours
You're
later,
growing a twin.
That's no moon, Ben.
That's my vestigial radiation twin.
I call him Jar Jar.
You're still gonna have to shoot better than that.
It used to talk, but I cut its tongue out. Well, thanks for stopping by, Kona.
Oh yeah.
Have a good
yeah.
one.
Oh fuck.
I appreciate the alliteration.
that was
Definitely.
funny.
Yep. I'm always a big fan of alliterations.
All right, we ready to record that intro?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Josh, you
Intro.
son of a bitch, trying to snake it already.
God damn it, Josh. Do you guys have your things?
I do. I've had mine literally 10 seconds.
Josh, do
I
you
do
have
now.
your thing?
Yes, I do.
He doesn't know it. It's okay.
Russ thinks I don't know it.
It's all right. I have my backup. It's always on hand.
Just start writing two.
Well, then let me see one of them. If you already have a backup,
No, you don't just get a freebie steal. You got to work for it.
I tried to, but you're too quick.
Today,
I'm gonna sneeze on you.
I will pee in your butt.
True.
And here I go.
I covered it.
Don't, man, I don't want your fucking blood disease.
That's not how you get hemophilia. I gotta fuck you.
Let's hurry up and do this because I got to pee real bad.
Dude, me too. So fucking bad. All right. Noise floor. Josh has to make sounds so he doesn't make sounds. All right. All right. Tonight on Video Game Tango, we discuss the newest of worlds, how we might train our freemium dragons, a player that no one knows, and robot dragons. We also argue over the Mortal Kombat movie's fuck.
Womp womp.
It's robot dinosaurs.
Dinosaur robots.
Dinosaur robots, not robot dragons.
Shit.
No, well, new.
Did I say robot dragons?
You did say robot dragons.
Oh shit.
It's robot dinosaurs for Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah.
Yeah. Noise floor. Tonight on Video Game Tango, we discuss the newest of worlds, how we might train our freemium dragons, a player that no one knows, and robot dinosaurs. We also argue over the Mortal Kombat movie's fatalistic attempt at being a real film, and we do it all while looting our countrysides.
Greetings. I'm Nick, and unfortunately, I know what a carbuncle is.
I'm Josh, and I look good on every PlayStation generation.
My name's Russ, and Jesus wants video games for his birthday.
My name is Andy. Welcome to Video Game Tango.
That's a wrap.
That was good.
That was good. Damn, that was good. I wish I could have stole that one.
Good on every generation.
I just free-handed that as it came to me.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yep.
I had no idea what I was going to say. I was going to be really disappointed, and you are all going to be disappointed in me. And I was like, PlayStation, as soon as, I thought of it as it was, as you were saying your thing.
It's just, hi, I'm Josh, and I look good.
I was
I can't
looking
remember
at
the
this, and I
rest.
said multi-generational releases, and it's like, okay, there it is.
Yep.
Oh, my butt's sweaty, though.
Got that Bwetty going on.
Yeah, I haven't gotten up yet.
Ooh.
Wow.
I'm
My
swampy.
arm hair turned purple for a second. Oh, man. I wish I had my green shirt with me.
Everybody, say goodnight to chat.
Good night, chat.
Good night, chat.
Good night, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We love you.
And as always,
Remember to loot your countrysides.
I was just going to leave it hanging.
And as always,